Good morning to you all. Uh, so today is the second day we are doing this science seminar series. So yesterday we completed biology covering all the lessons in both 10 and 11 syllabus. And today we are going to discuss chemistry. Before we discuss the support paper, let's see the structure of the O-level science paper. I think it's very important. I think some of you are not fully aware of this, how this science paper is structure of the O-level science paper under new syllabus. You can see the screen also. So you get 40 MCQs, multiple choice questions, and out of them you get nearly 10 MCQs basic level. So that is just to test the ability of recalling the previous memory or the previous knowledge. That is directly the content base, right? And then you get nearly 18 MCQs middle level questions, and 6 MCQs higher order questions, and 6 MCQs ability of analysis, synthesis and evaluation. So total you get 80 marks. So that means 1 MCQ 2 marks, but actually out of 100 is 40 marks. So 40 MCQs 40 marks. So they give out of 200, then again is divided by 2. So 1 hour paper, and calculators are not allowed, and periodic table also not given. Therefore, you have to remember the periodic table and the activity series basic things. So you are not with the paper, you are not provided with this periodic table, or calculators are not allowed. And these 40 MCQs consist of all three areas: chemistry, biology and physics. Example, you get nearly so according to 2019 and 2020, so nearly 12 to 13 MCQs from biology, and around 12 between 12 and 15 MCQs from chemistry, and around 12-13 MCQs from physics. So that means nearly 1/3 from each chemistry, biology and physics. Then part 2 paper, so at least you have to get 30 or above from the MCQ paper to go for a good grade like A or B pass. Then let's see the next. I'll move to the next slide. If you want, you can take a screenshot even if you're not aware of these things. And when we consider the paper 2, that is 3 hours and 10 minutes. So this 10 minutes extra reading time, additional time, that is to actually select the questions, and out of the 5 essays you have to select any 3 essays. Part B. So paper 2, science paper 2, 3 hours and 10 minutes paper. It consists of 2 parts, part A and B. Part A consists of 4 compulsory questions. In other words, you have to answer all 4 structured essay type questions on the paper itself within the space provided. And out of those 4 structured essay type questions or compulsory questions, you can see in the screen, the structured essay question number 1 completely from the biosphere lesson, and it is grade 11 last lesson, chapter 15. Structured essay question number 2 from biology, it's from both 10 and 11 syllabus. Structured essay question number 3, the compulsory question, completely from chemistry. So not only from 10 or not only from 11, it can consist from the lessons of both 10 and 11 syllabuses. And question number 4, structured essay, completely from physics. So one structured essay type question, actually if you consider out of 100 marks, it carries 7.5 marks. So 7.5 marks into 4, 30 marks, but since it is given out of 200, you are awarded 15 marks for each structured essay type question. So then 60 marks means actual marks 30, so it's divided by 2. And the other most important thing is structured essay, nearly 25 marks allocated for each question, 25 marks allocated related to the practical, so the activity base, so the practical applications. Example, when you look at your textbook, grade 10 or 11, there are activities given, activity 11.1 if it is 11th lesson. So those activities you have to pay more attention. You can get structured essay compulsory questions, so this related to these practicals, so the activities. So for now 40 MCQs 40 marks, and for compulsory questions for structured essay type questions you get 30 marks. Now 70 marks structured essay and paper 1 MCQs, total marks now 70. Now let's see part B, essay type questions. So essay type questions, you can see again the screen, it's like semi-structured. In other words, you are not expected to write like half page, full page paragraph like in the other subjects. So you have to write exactly for what they asked, exactly to the point, with the technical and the scientific terms. So if you consider part B, there are 5 essay type questions. Out of these 5 essays, you have to answer any 3 out of these 5, any 3. So it's essay type part B, question number 5, completely from biology. If you only can note down this question number 5, essay type first question, that is mainly from the systems. System lesson, there are nearly 7 systems, grade 10 reproductive system, and then grade 11 respiratory, digestive, excretory, blood circulatory, nervous, endocrine system. So the chapter 6, grade 11, you have to study that thoroughly, because otherwise you will not be able to get good full marks for this question number 5 essay type. And in addition to that, you have to pay attention to this grade 10 chapter 13 classification, and grade 10 chapter 14 reproduction lesson, and grade 10 chapter 20 inheritance lesson. That means grade 10 unit 13, 14 and 20 biology lessons, you can get essay type questions. Then question number 6, completely from chemistry. Each question carries 10 marks, actual marks 10 marks out of 100, but here it's a mark out of 200, that's why you get 20 marks. So question number 7, physics, and question number 8, biology and physics, and question number 9, chemistry and physics. So you can select any 3. So you are given additional 10 minutes reading time to select the questions. Out of these 5, any 3 you have to answer. The most important thing, time management, and when because halfway if you have done this and then again if you are going to select some other question, then there will be a problem managing the time. So now you can understand structured essay 30 marks, and essay type semi-structured or part B 30 marks, then 60 marks for the paper 2. Paper 2 60 marks, paper 1 40 marks. So this is how the structure of the whole paper, and then you can see the calculation of the final marks. You can see the screen. Paper 1 80 marks, 40 MCQs, 2 marks each, and paper 2 120 marks, total 200 divided by 2, you get 100 marks. So to go for A pass, you have to get 75 or above. So that also I'll tell. You can see the screen. You can see the marks range, right? 75 to 100 distinction pass, 65 to 74 very good pass, then 50 to 64 C credit, 35 to 49 S pass, or 34 or below W weak. So to go for A pass, so at least that's why I told to go for 75 marks, at least if you get 30 MCQs out of 40 MCQs structured essay, and then essay type you can get out of 60 say 45 plus 30 75. But if you get 20s for the MCQ paper, then you have to make a lot of effort to go for A or B. From the essay type you have to answer all the essays without any mistakes. So that is the structure of the paper, oral science paper, right? And those who got late, you can get the recording, or you can request the recording, or you can after the session you can request to the school science teacher, right? So let's go on to the paper now. I'll share the screen. So chemistry paper, yesterday we have shared with your science teachers WhatsApp group. If you have not got it, you can request it again through the school teacher. You can see the screen now. Chemistry. So yesterday we discussed biology, and today we are going to discuss completely chemistry, covering all the lessons, both 10 and 11 syllabus, right? All the lessons in both 10 and 11 syllabus. And when you're answering, there are so chemistry, the most important thing, before you answer chemistry questions, you have to check with yourself whether you know the periodic table, right? There are 20 elements. If you can't write the 20 elements of the periodic table, you find it very difficult to answer chemistry questions. Number 1, you have to remember the periodic table. Number 2, grade 10 chapter 16 activity series. There are 14 metals. Those 14 metals you have to remember. Any subject to a certain extent, there's a memorizing part, right? So first you should remember that. So then the rest you can get it logically. So if you're going to answer chemistry questions without knowing the activity series and the periodic table, no wonder the chemistry is going to be very hard for you. Therefore, before the oral exam, that's a must. you have to remember the periodic table, not just to write from 1 to 2 and the symbols. You should know how to construct the periodic table based on the electronic configuration. So without the configuration of the periodic table, because you are getting directly the questions from the periodic table also, to find the position of those elements, whether they are solid, liquid, gas, or the physical state, whether they are metal or non-metal or metalloids. There are some questions directly linked with the periodic table and the activity series. Okay, let's start without wasting much time from question number 1, MCQs. So the most important thing, not to mark the answers for these MCQs. So it's not like just questions and answers. Under each MCQ, I'll explain from which part of your syllabus, whether it's from grade 10 or whether it's from grade 11, as well as from which part of that lesson you have got this question, plus any other important thing. So it's up to you to decide. So it's up to you to decide whether to write it or not. If you are fully okay with that, no problem. Otherwise, try to learn something new from each MCQ, because the entire syllabus, I'll explain each MCQ. Any other information, I mean other important information about related to the subject. Then you have to copy down this separately in a separate paper CR book or in a separate exercise book. So then only your chemistry knowledge will improve. So always keep in your mind, you are doing this to improve your chemistry knowledge. Then only your marks will improve. By even if you do 100 papers, just marking the answers, you will not improve. Right? Okay, now let's see question number 1. So starting from the basics. Question number 1, what are the subatomic particles that can be seen in the nucleus of an atom? It's a very easy question. Nucleus consists of 2 subatomic particles, protons and electrons. Protons and neutrons. Nucleus consists of only protons and neutrons. Actually, in other words, so if you take an atom during a chemical reaction, nucleus is not undergoing any change. During a chemical reaction, only nuclear reactions, nucleus is going to change. Therefore, when an atom becomes positively charged or when an atom becomes negatively charged, nucleus is not undergoing any change. That means proton number and neutron number remain constant. Whether it's going to be positively charged or negatively charged, Na become Na plus or Cl becomes Cl minus, protons and neutrons remain unchanged. Only the electron count, the number of electrons can change. Either it can increase or decrease. That's very, very important. And you should know the discovery of these subatomic particles. Sometimes they can question that in the first MCQ paper, within the first few MCQs. Electron discovered by J.J. Thomson, and proton by Ernest Rutherford, and neutron by James Chadwick. And the first discovered subatomic particle, electron, and that is the lightest subatomic particle. Electron is the first discovered subatomic particle, and that is the lightest subatomic particle, and electrons are revolving around the nucleus just like planets are revolving around the sun. Due to this, so a scientist called Ernest Rutherford produced planetary model of the atom, or solar model or nuclear model. That is the first most accepted atomic model after Plum-Pudding model or the Thomson's model. So atomic models, knowledge of atomic models and the position of these 3 subatomic particles, their charge, their relative mass, and those things are very, very important. Discovered by whom? These subatomic particles, if you take the mass number, you don't consider the mass of the electron, because electrons are very light in weight. Mass of an electron is actually, electron has a mass, but it's not considered for the mass of an atom. Right, now question number 1, very easy, so very basic question. Subatomic particles seen only in the nucleus of an atom. Answer is protons and neutrons. Answer is question number 1. Answer is second. Right. Okay. So you can underline. Those who have done this paper, you can mark with the red pen, and you can check whether you are okay with the MCQ paper. Whether you can go for at least 30 or above. You can mark the answers with the red pen. Those who have done this at home before. Yeah. Then question number 2. Question number 2, electronic configuration of Al3+. So this one very important. Recently they are asking not just the neutral atom, electronic configuration as well as the number of electrons in ions, like positive ions and negative ions. So you can see Al3+. Look at the screen, everyone. Al3+. Right. You can note down this atomic number. So the number 1, you should know the atomic number of aluminium. Aluminium atomic number is 13. That means aluminium atom has, it's neutral, it has 13 protons and 13 electrons. Right, 13 protons and 13 electrons. When it become Al3 plus, proton number no change. I told you nucleus of an atom is not going to change when it's become positively or negatively charged. Proton number and neutron number inside the nucleus not going to change. Only this guy is going out and in. Only electrons can be given out from an atom and electrons can be added to an atom. So which subatomic particle going in and out from an atom? Only electron. Nucleus constant. This one not going to change unless it is a nuclear reaction. So nuclear reactions not introduced to your syllabus. Therefore no need to worry about that. So this is very common. If you want to write down this in your short notebook, you can put a stand right. When an atom become positively or negatively charged, nucleus is not undergoing any change. That means proton number and neutron number remain constant in an atom. Even during chemical reaction, protons and neutrons not undergoing any change. So which one can, if electrons are given out, then atoms become positively charged. If electrons are added to an atom or gain, then it's become negatively charged. So an atom become positively or negatively charged due to the change in of the lightest subatomic particle electron. You can write down protons and neutrons will never change when an atom become positively or negatively charged. So therefore you can see aluminium, there are 13 protons, 13 electrons, so therefore it's electrically neutral. Therefore the configuration of aluminium 2, 8, 3, total 13. If you don't know the atomic number of aluminium, that is the end of your chemistry. So that's why I told first 20 elements you have to remember, otherwise like your job you do in chemistry questions. Right, Al3 plus, how many now? What I told you, which subatomic particle change when an atom become positive or negative? Electrons. Only electrons will change. Only this one, I'll encircle this, only electron number will change when an atom become positive or negative. Proton number no change. Proton, any atom this is valid, not only for aluminium, any other atom, whether it's going to be positively charged or negatively charged, electrons only changes, proton number remain unchanged. This is like your NIC or your identity. So in atomic number, no other element in the periodic table has atomic number 13 other than aluminium. It is like the identity. It's a unique character feature of the element, atomic number. Even in isotopes or any other instance, atomic number not going to change. So that's very important. If atomic number is not going to change, the proton number also not going to change. So who is going to change now? When Al become Al3 plus, 3 electrons out. That means electrons become 10. So now 3 electrons. So when it become, when what is remain more now? 3 extra protons. That's why you get 3 plus. Protons are positively charged. Earlier both are equal, neutral. 13 positive charges, 13 negative charges. So atom is neutral. Now when 3 electrons are given out, electron number decreases from 13 to 10. Now it's imbalance. Proton number and electron number imbalance. So what is more now? Protons. Protons are positively charged. How many extra protons? How many extra positive charges? 3. That's why we put 3 plus. So therefore what is the electronic configuration of Al3 plus? 2, 8. What is the electronic configuration of Al3 plus? 2, 8. That is the answer. So therefore everything you should know. You can't just memorize this. You have to start from the atomic number. First you should know the aluminium atom configuration. Then you can go from that to Al3 plus aluminium ion. Therefore configuration, the answer is 2, 8. And those who have not done this, you can copy down this 2, 8. Always remember, if in an atom, if protons equal electrons, it's neutral. You can copy down this also. If in an atom, if protons equal electrons number, it's neutral. If an atom contain more protons than electrons, it's what? Positively charged. Positive. If an atom contains more electrons than protons, then it will be negatively charged. More electrons than protons, then is negatively charged ion. Then we call them ions. So these two are, this is an atom. The last two we can't tell atoms, they are ions. Positive ions and negative ions. IONS ions. So you can copy down these things. try to improve your at least each MCQ. I am giving a lot of information, then only your knowledge will improve, then only, because you don't get this question as it is. Sometimes they will give some other ion. It can be negative ion. Then you should know the same procedure. If it is negative ion, what? Electrons are added in, then electron number goes up. So in an atom, which one can increase or decrease? Only electron. If electron increase, it's get negative because electrons are negatively charged. If electrons are decreasing, then it's become positive charge because positive charges left more than the electrons or negative charges, right? So the answer is 2,8. Question number 2 answer is 3. Question number 2 answer is 3. Then next one, question number 3. I'll erase the screen. Question number 3, chemical formula of M. So this is M is not the real symbol. M is not the real symbol. Why MCl2 is given? That is to get the valency of M. So when you separate them back to the ions, this 2 belongs to M. So M become M2 plus. Cl is Cl minus. There are 2 Cl minus. So why 2 is given? Get the charge of M. That's how you get 2 plus here. If you know the M2 plus, or if you know the charge of M, you can get the formula which is carbonate. So you should know what is carbonate. Carbonate is CO3 2 minus. So the ion radicals and the charged ions, you should know carbonate is CO3 2 minus. Now M and carbonate going to combine. So that is called chemical formula of the carbonate of M. So that means M2 plus combine with CO3 2 minus. Carbonate of M is going to combine with carbonate ion. So there's a short method also. If charges get balanced, you can simply add them. That means 2 plus and 2 minus get cancelled. Then you can simply add them. Charges get balanced. That is one method. Or else you can write the valency under each. So here the valency 2, here valency 2, and 2 the simplest ratio 1:1. Then you can get the formula MCO3. MCO3. Answer will be MCO3. Right. Answer is 4th, MCO3. Or else you can easily get here 2 plus and 2 minus get balanced. So the charges get balanced. Then also you can simply add. But when you are writing the formula, don't leave a gap between M and CO3. So the answer is 4th. It's same as calcium carbonate. So one of the best example, what are the suitable metal ions that can be used for M2 plus? M2 plus can be Ca2 plus. That is calcium carbonate CaCO3. M2 plus can be Mg2 plus magnesium ion. Then is MgCO3. Answer is 4th. Question number 3. Answer is 4th. Question number 4. So what is the first step here? What is given? MCl2. From MCl2 you get the charge of M2 plus. Then third step, you are going to combine that with carbonate. But if you don't know the symbol of carbonate, then you can't answer this question. Right? So carbonate, phosphate, nitrate, you should know that is given in grade 10 textbook. Grade 10. Right. Question number 4. I'll erase the screen. Question number 4. Which of the following oxides acidic? Okay, remember oxides we can classify into 4 groups actually. Oxides can be classified, if you only can copy down this short note, there are 4 types of oxides. Some oxides are neutral, some oxides are acidic, some oxides are basic. So oxides means when an element combined with oxygen, we call it oxide. If a metal combined with oxygen, we call it metallic oxide. If a non-metal combined with oxygen, we call it non-metallic oxide. Look at the screen everyone. So if I write here the 3 types of oxides, 3 types of oxides. Right. Because in the exam they might not the same 4, so they can give the other oxides also. Therefore, first one I will write basic oxides. Some oxides are basic oxides. Some oxides are acidic oxides. Some oxides are neutral oxides. And some oxides are amphoteric. Okay, I'll write that also, amphoteric oxides. Please copy down this everyone in your short notebook. Amphoteric oxide. Amphoteric means those oxides show both acidic and basic properties. And the 4th one, neutral oxides. Neutral oxides. Neutral oxides. Right. Please take a note. You better copy down this summary, because you are not given this in the textbook, I think. This summary, right. Let's see Basic oxide means most of the metal oxides. Example, all the group 1 oxides are basic except hydrogen. Say lithium oxide, Li2O, basic. Sodium oxide, Na2O, basic. If you put into water, they form hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide. All the group 1 metal oxides are basic. And group 2 also, they are basic. Say example, magnesium oxide, basic. Right? And calcium oxide, basic. These are called basic oxides. I took the elements from your periodic table, but there are many other basic oxides if you go for the long form of the periodic table. Then what are acidic oxides? So basic oxides, they form with water. With water, they dissolve in water, forming bases. That's why we call them basic oxide. For example, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, white powder. Calcium oxide is quicklime. So this is calcium oxide, quicklime. Calcium oxide react with water. That's how you prepare lime water. So this is just one example. Why it is called basic? If you put any of this white powder into water, it forms hydroxide. Say example, calcium oxide plus water, calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide, that's a weak base. Calcium hydroxide. And the other most important, this is okay. There are other any reaction you should know whether it's exothermic or endothermic or neutralization or single double or combination or decomposition. So this is under combination reaction. According to grade 10 chemistry, combination reaction. Plus, according to grade 11 heat changes associated with the chemical reaction, this is an exothermic reaction. Please copy down that also. Learn something new from each MCQ, then only your chemistry knowledge will improve. Always you should have the intention of improving your chemistry knowledge rather than just going thinking about the marks. So you will automatically marks in the exam if you have good knowledge about this subject. Okay, so I gave additional information. Calcium oxide reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide. This reaction is already balanced. It is a chemical combination as well as an exothermic reaction. And any other oxide, same thing, sodium oxide plus water, sodium hydroxide. Potassium oxide plus water, potassium hydroxide. Lithium oxide plus water, lithium hydroxide, like that. So that's why we call them basic oxide. Let's see now acidic oxide. Acidic oxides examples, you can write. Now, most of the non-metallic oxides are acidic. I'll give one example. Carbon dioxide is acidic oxide. That's why carbon dioxide can be dissolved in lime water. Lime water basic, carbon dioxide acidic, they combine acids and bases. Then if you take sulfur dioxide, which causes acid rain, acidic oxide. Sulfur trioxide, acidic oxide. Nitrogen dioxide, it can form nitric acid with water, acidic oxide. In addition to that, you can write even hydrogen sulfide acidic, right? But it is not a oxide. So in your syllabus, so you get mainly carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. These are the acidic oxides. Out of these three can cause even acid rain. Like sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide dissolves in water forming acid, they can form acid rain. And soda bottle contain carbon dioxide, carbonated water contain hydrogen carbonate or carbonic acid, that is H2CO3. So the acidic oxides dissolves in water forming what? Acids, weak and strong acids. So if you put carbon dioxide, if you pass into water, you get what? H2CO3. If you pass sulfur dioxide into water, you get H2SO3. So these are acidic oxides from acids with water, H2SO3. If you take SO3, sulfur trioxide with water, it forms sulfuric acid, battery acid, H2SO4, like that. So I give some examples. When you add water into this, if you add water, any of this as acidic oxide, they are gases. And the other most important thing, all the basic oxides that I have written here, what they are? Ionic solid. They are solid. And acidic oxide, all these acidic oxides are gases. Physical state also different. When metal combined with oxygen, definitely it's a solid. Metal with oxygen, metallic oxide, they are all solid. Non-metal with oxygen, non-metallic oxides, not always, mostly they are acidic and basic, acidic and gases. All these are gaseous, right? Gaseous state. Then what are amphoteric? One of the best example, group 3 you get aluminium. Right? Aluminium oxide is amphoteric. Why? Aluminium, Al2O3, one of the best example, your cooking pots or the cooking pans. For the gas cooker we use cooking. So the surface contain this inert layer, aluminium oxide layer on the surface. So it doesn't react with the curry, or it doesn't react with water, it doesn't react with further oxygen. But if you put vinegar, ambultial malware, or the acidic food, if you are preparing in aluminium cooking pots or the cooking pans, then it can cause aluminium food poisoning, because vinegar or acidic food, goraka, various acidic food you should not prepare, including tomato and all, in aluminium cooking pots. There can be a reaction between the acids present in the food with the aluminium oxide on the surface of the aluminium pot. So aluminium oxide is amphoteric. Aluminium oxide react with both acids and bases. That's why it's amphoteric. So it shows both. What is amphoteric? Shows both acidic and basic properties. Amphoteric means, in what is actually, you are familiar with the word amphibians. Amphibians means ubaya-jeeveen. So it means ubaya-guni. In Sinhala we call it ubaya-guni. Ubaya means like both. It has both the properties, right? Amphibians, both young stage live in water and adults live on the land. Amphibians. So here amphoteric means they show both acidic and basic properties. The neutral oxide, water that you drink, neutral. In addition that, if you take carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, they are neutral. Just because of neutral, you can't tell is safe. Carbon monoxide is one of the most toxic gas. Neutral means they do not react with water forming acids or bases. Basically, they don't react with acids or bases. Neutral means they don't react with water to form acids or bases. Right? That's the reason. They don't react with acid or bases. So basically, basic oxides can react with acid. Acidic oxides can react with bases. Amphoteric oxides can react with both acid and bases. Neutral oxide won't react with any of this. Okay? So what are the four types of oxides? Basic oxides, acidic oxides, amphoteric oxides, and neutral oxide. There are more than 100 elements in the periodic table. But I gave these oxides by considering only your periodic table. Right? So therefore, you have to remember this. Please copy down this in your writing book. Right. Then let's move on to the next. So what is the answer for this? Any volunteers know what is the answer? Please write under each whether it's acidic or basic without my help. You should be able to write. This is amphoteric. Sulfur dioxide acidic. Sodium oxide basic. Answer is silicon dioxide weakly acidic. Silicon dioxide is weakly acidic. So the acidic oxide here, sulfur dioxide. Acidic oxide will be sulfur dioxide. More, if you can hear which of the following oxide is an acidic oxide, the best answer is, but anyways one can argue silicon dioxide is very weakly acidic, but here the most correct answer is sulfur dioxide. So I will underline the answer, SO2. SO2, please write. SO2 can cause acid rain also. If you are burning rubber products, like that means rubber tires, tubes, if you are burning in your garden or in your compound or in your if you should never inhale, and don't let anyone to burn these rubber tires, tubes, polythene products, plastic. If you want to get a cancer within 5-10 years, so you can burn them and inhale. So don't let anyone to burn this, because when you are burning any rubber product, sulfur dioxide is released. So it's a toxic gas. You should not inhale that in excess, but sulfur dioxide get washed away with the rain and form acid rain, or can contribute to the decrease in pH value of rainwater. Right? Rainwater can become acidic due to the dissolution of acidic gases. Right? I get a lot of information about this. Then you should be able to answer any question related to this. One more thing I want you to remember. Across the period, acidity of the oxide increase. I'll give one example. Okay. If you take, look at the screen everyone. If you take group period 2, sodium, or second period or third period, if you take the oxides, example, third period, sodium oxide, Na2O, sodium magnesium oxide, MgO, aluminium oxide, Al2O3, silicon, SiO2, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon. What can you say about this acidity or basicity gradually? So you start with the most strong, the basic oxide, that is sodium oxide. Then if you want, you can write here phosphorus, P2O5. Then sulfur, SO3, sulfur trioxide. Then chlorine, Cl2O7. So you can, this also you have to remember, across the period, acidity of the oxides increases because electronegativity increase. Across the period, acidity of the oxides increases. Acidity increases the oxides acidity. Acidity increases across the period. Acidity increases. That's also very important. Acidity of the oxides increases across the period. Group 8 I didn't write because it's noble gases. What is the most strongest one? Most acidic one is this. Most acidic oxide is Cl2O7. and least acidic is this. Least acidic means what? Most basic. Least acidic is, within bracket we can write most basic. Most basic. Sometimes they can give questions like this in the oral paper. Which of the following oxide is most basic? Which of the following oxide is most acidic? Which of the following oxide is least acidic? They can make questions, the same knowledge, but they can make 100 questions from this, right? Or they can ask, what is the increase in order of the acidity of the following oxide? Or which of the following oxide is amphoteric? Which of the following oxide reacts with water forming acids? Like that, they can ask many questions from this. So this is very, very important. You can put 3 stars near question number 4. So what is the answer here? Sulfur dioxide, SO2. Silicon dioxide. The other most important thing, if you are not sure about the answer, you can first omit the most incorrect answer. The most incorrect answer you can omit. Then you can select the graduate. Otherwise, you rather than just mark in 1 out of the 4 answers. If you are not sure about the answer, first omit the most incorrect one, and then from the remaining ones you can guess the answer. At least the probability of getting the answer correct, it's a higher probability than just marking 1 out of the 4 answers. Right. Then next one. Question number 5. I think you had enough. Anyone still copying down this? Shall I raise the screen? Please raise the hand if anyone of you is still copying down, or else. Right. I gave a lot of information about all the oxides, everything you should know about oxides. Right. Then question number 5. Question number 5. The characteristics of certain element given. Density is less than water. Normally metals having higher density than water, metals sink in water. But this one less than water, that means floats on water. If you want to write within bracket, it floats on water and rapidly reacts with water. It floats on water and rapidly reacts with water. Answer will be. Any volunteers, please raise the hand. Those who have done the paper, at least please raise the hand. Those who have done this paper, at least MCQs. I posted this yesterday. I don't know whether you are school teachers or from the school, whether you got it. How many of you have done this at home? Please raise the hand. Right, around there are more than 80 students, so at least 20 18 students raise the hand. Right, okay, good. So then you can mark with the red pen and you can check your standard whether you can go at least 30 or above for the chemistry, whether you're okay with this. And any volunteers who can give me the answer for this? Please raise the hand. Any volunteers? Question number 5, please raise the hand, those who can give me the answer. Yeah, Situmini, Sanditi and Situmini, you can give the answer.
Sodium.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, answer is correct. Sodium. There's a small video clip also about these elements. If I have time, I'll show that. So the elements with the above characters, that is sodium. Sodium reacts. Sodium floats on water and reacts rapidly with water. Sulfur has no reaction with water, right? Sulfur has no reaction with water. Aluminium also has no observable reaction with water. Magnesium, no reaction with cold water, but only with hot water. Reacts only with hot water. Reacts with hot water, but reacts with hot water and steam, but not with cold water. Reacts with hot water and steam, but not with cold water. Sodium react even with cold water. Even with cold water. Rapidly react. Right. Sulfur and aluminium, no reaction with water. Right. Next one. So the answer is second, sodium. Question number 6. Question number 6 from chemical calculation. What is the total number of atoms in 9 grams of water? Okay. This is from grade 10, chapter 7. Chemical calculation. Every year definitely you are getting the calculation related to the equation or balancing of the equation, and then from that they can ask calculation, or directly they can ask calculating the moles, mass, molar mass, or atoms or molecules. Now let's see how to do this. Any volunteers can give the answer for this? Anyone, those who have done this at home or before? Yeah. Right, Moksha. Yeah. Nadine?
Sir, the second answer.
Right. He gave second answer. Okay, let's see. Nadine gave second answer. I'll mark the answer. Okay. If you want to find that, remember this most important word, pay attention to this total word. Total atoms. Total number of atoms. Not hydrogen atom or oxygen atom. Total number of atoms. Right. Okay. Okay, let's see the answer. I'll look at the screen, everyone. First, you should convert 9 grams into number of moles. First, convert 9 grams into number of moles. 9 grams you have to convert into moles. That is N. Then from N you have to go for atomic moles. Total number of atomic moles in H2O. How many total atomic moles? After that you have to convert into atoms. So first you find H2O moles, then atomic moles. N means moles. So 9 grams of water you convert into H2O grams, you convert into H2O moles. Then you convert atomic moles, total atomic moles. Then you can find total number of atoms. Total number of atoms. So if you only can copy down total number of atoms. So how to find total number of atoms? You can multiply this by Avogadro's constant. You can multiply this by Avogadro's constant. 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Right. Now let's work out. What is the first step? 9 grams, how to convert into moles? What is the first step? You can find number of moles. First one, 9 grams divided by molar mass of water. They have given hydrogen equal 1, oxygen equal 16. The total will be 18 here. Total will be 18. So I'll divide this by 18 grams per mole. 18 grams per mole. Then you get how many moles? Half mole, 0.5 moles. 9 divided by 18, 1 over 2. 1 over 2 means 0.5 moles. Right, that is the first step. Then second one, number 2. Okay, I'll write here number 1 here, the first step I have done. Now my second step, converting moles into atomic moles, total moles of atoms. So the next step I will write how to convert water moles into atomic moles. If you want to find atoms, you should know the total number of moles of atoms. If you want to find number of molecules, you should know the moles of molecules. Moles of molecules, you can find the number of molecules. Moles of atoms, you can find the number of atoms. So I had to convert water moles into what atoms in this much of moles of water. So how to find atomic moles? You multiply this by 3 because one water molecule has 3 atoms. One water molecule has 3 atoms. Therefore atomic moles will be moles of atoms. Moles of atoms will be 0.5 into 3. 0.5 into 3. 0.5 into 3. Why 3? Water has 3. Okay, I'll write here H2O. 1 water mole has 3. 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1, 3 atoms. That's why here 3. Right. Then after that, last step. Right. Then next one. Third step. Last step, you convert this into total number of atoms. Total number of atoms. How to find total number of atoms? Total atomic moles multiplied by total atoms will be this into Avogadro constant. That means what? 6.022 into 0.5 into 10 to the power 23 also there. 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 Avogadro constant into 0.5 into 0.5 into 3. 0.5 into 3. So this is the final answer. This is the final answer. Okay, what is the first one? First one is what? Convert grams into moles. What is the second step? Convert moles into atoms, atomic moles. Convert water moles into water atomic moles. Last step, convert. Third step, this is the third one. Find the total number of atoms. So if it is, imagine one more example. Imagine you get here glucose 0.5 moles. Then instead of if this was glucose, then how many atoms are there in glucose? 24 atoms. Then you have to put here 24. So this number will change depend on the number of molecules. This you have to change. Total atoms in glucose 24. So imagine this was say CH4 methane. Then you have to put here then what is the number you have to put here? 5. Imagine you get 0.5 moles of methane. Then total atomic moles will be what? 0.5 into 5. So then it will be 5. Imagine you get here ammonia 0.5 moles. So the same technique, they can change only the molecule in the exam. The same method. If you want to calculate atoms from the grams in a given molecule, okay, if you write converting molecule, grams of molecule into total atoms. So this is the method. Convert grams into moles and moles convert into atomic moles and then the total number of atoms. So those are the 3 steps. So this is the final answer. What is the answer here? Answer will be third. Question number 6, answer is 3. I'll discuss a few more examples. Only from one example you might find it difficult to remember, but the same technique, if you are going to convert grams into atoms, grams to atoms in a molecule, this is like this. But imagine sometimes I have seen some mistakes. Even sodium chloride you can't find atoms. Why? Sodium chloride is an ionic compound. I have seen even some term test papers, sometimes even by mistaken. So it's a misconcept. Sometimes I have seen questions in the paper. So how many atoms are there in sodium chloride? Answer is 0. Why? Sodium chloride does not contain any atoms. Sodium chloride is an ionic compound. It consists of only ions. Therefore, in case of ionic compound, instead of atoms, they should ask how many ions are there in 1 mole of NaCl. How many ions? Or calcium chloride, how many ions? So in case of covalent compound like water, we can ask atoms. Glucose covalent. We can ask how many atoms. Covalent compound consists of atoms. Ionic compound consists of ions. Therefore, if someone asks how many atoms are there in NaCl, that question is wrong. No atoms in NaCl. It consists of only ions. Ionic lattice. Right? Okay, those things also very important. Now, if you take any other example, you have to convert grams into the moles of, okay, if it is glucose moles. Then how many atomic moles? That answer should be multiplied by 24. So here I multiplied by 3 because water has 3 atoms. 1 mole of water has 3 atomic moles. So 0.5 into 3. Okay, answer is 3. I'll explain a similar one. I think again you will get a similar one. I have given a lot of questions here from chemical calculation also. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. Question number 7. What is the standard unit of atomic mass? Okay, atomic mass unit is also known as AMU. What is the atomic mass unit? AMU. So AMU, that is 1/12 of the mass of C612 isotope. What is atomic AMU? The definition: 1/12 of the mass of the C612 isotope. If you divide the mass of any atom by this, we call it relative atomic mass. If you divide mass of an atom by AMU, what is that called? Relative atomic mass. Mass of an atom divided by AMU. What is AMU? Atomic mass unit. That is called relative atomic mass. We call it sometimes RAM. So therefore RAM is equal to what? Mass of atom. They will not ask you to write this. Sometimes they can ask which expression is correct. There are possible questions. Mass of an atom, say imagine mass of carbon atom or mass of sulfur atom. Mass of an atom divided by what is AMU? AMU will be what? 1/12 into the mass of which atom? Mass of the carbon atom, C612 isotope. Right. Next one. So what is the answer for this? Question number 7, answer is second. Question number 7, answer is second. Question number 8. I'll erase the screen. Question number 8. what is the correct order of the relative molecular mass of the compounds? Very easy. You have to get the total. So you are given RAM is given in the exam, no need to memorize. Relative atomic mass given within bracket. Look at the screen. Water you get the total 18. How come 2 plus 16? 2 hydrogen 2 hydrogen is 1. 1 into 2 2 plus 16 18. Total 18. Glucose you get the total 180. How come 180? C6H12O6. 1 carbon atom 12. 12 into 6 plus. I think these are basic things, even though I write if there's a weak, if someone is weak from this, so you can at least learn the technique. 12 1 into 12. 1 hydrogen atom 1 into 12. 1 carbon atom 12 into 6. Then oxygen 16. 1 oxygen atom 16. How many oxygen atoms are there here? 6. So when you get the total here, so I think you get here 72 plus 12 plus 16 times 6. So you get 6 times 6 36. 16 times 6 36 and 6 times 1 9. Then you get the total here 16 times 6, you get 96. Yeah, so you get that if you add all these you get 180. If you add all these you get 180. 96 plus 12 plus 72, you get the total 180. The next one you get urea. This is urea. This is very important. How to find the relative molecular mass or molar mass of urea? CONH2 twice. So carbon is 12 plus oxygen is 16. Then you get plus, you get the total inside the bracket. Look at the screen everyone. You get the total inside the bracket. 16 nitrogen is total inside the bracket. Nitrogen is 14. Hydrogen is 2. Then you get the total here 16. 16 into 232. 16 into 232. 16 into 232. So here the total 16. Then you get 12 plus 16 plus 32. Answer will be 60. So you get the total inside the bracket and multiply that by 2. Out of brackets you have 2. So then what is the relative molecular mass of the compounds? So you get what is the correct order now? This one you get 60. First you get this, second you get this, third you get this. So you have to get this respectively. So if you know at least water 18, now this is a tricky question. Imagine, no need to waste time. If you once you calculate water, look at the screen. This is like this also you should learn. If you are sure about water is 18, then you can omit all the other answers. Why? You can omit this answer because what is 18? It can't be 60. Here also you can omit. Why? What is 18? This also you can omit. Why? Water is 18. Since water is 18, only answer which begins with 18, third answer. Then no need to waste time on the others. Okay, so if you are smart, you can check even when they have given more than one answer, then you can check. If you are 100% sure about the one answer, then you can omit the other answers. That also you can do it without calculating the glucose and urea. You can get the answer for this if you know, because only answer which begins with 18 is third answer, right? So if you are little tricky, you can save time. Even the MCQ paper when it's come to A-level chemistry physics, so the time management very important. Sometimes the students they complain, paper is easy but no time to complete. That means they have not practiced papers by timing before the exam, right? Let's move on to the next question. Question number 9. What is the molar mass of NaOH? Molar mass means mass of 1 mole. The same technique, only different. Molar mass has units. So sodium hydroxide NaOH, sodium equal 23, oxygen 16, hydrogen 1. So what is the total? 40. Units, since it is molar mass, you have to give unit. Molar mass has units. What is the unit? Grams per mole. Grams per mole. Therefore molar mass has units, that is grams per mole. Answer is first one. Question number 9, answer is first. Remember, this is also known as, please write down if you want, molar mass. The sodium hydroxide is also called caustic soda. Caustic soda. And this is a raw material to manufacture soap. It's a raw material used to manufacture raw material for making soap industry. Why is soap important these days? Because most of the time we are washing hands now. Sanitizers, soap, detergents, so the usage of soap has increased in the world. But unfortunately, we don't have caustic soda industry in our country. We are importing caustic soda, but we have soap industry, but not caustic soda. Therefore, if there's a raw material problem, if we don't have dollars to import caustic soda, then there will be a shortage of soap also in the market. Therefore, applications of this chemistry in the society to the environment is very important. Okay, let's move to the next one. Question number 10. 10th MCQ, what is the number of molecules? I told you earlier when we calculated the atoms. Now this is easy. Why? Because CO2 is a molecule. Then we can directly go for the molecules. So then only two steps. How? Convert 22 grams of CO2 into moles. What is the first step? 22 grams of CO2 you have to convert into. So this is the mass. Mass you have to convert into moles of CO2. Moles of CO2 you can get, then molecules. Only three steps. But if they are atoms, you have to go for one molecules of CO2. What is the first step? How to convert grams to moles? The first one. Simple N equals simple M or capital M. This is the equation. What is the mass? 22. What is the mole mass of CO2? 44. You can get that. Total 44 because carbon 12, 2 oxygen 32. 32 plus 2, 44. Right? 44 molar mass. Then you get half mole. How many moles? Half mole or 0.5 or 1 or 2. Half mole. So we got the answer here. How many moles? Half mole. We converted grams to moles using this equation. What is the equation used to convert grams to moles? This equation you have to remember. Sometimes O-level essay types and structured essay type questions, sometimes they will allocate 1 mark for this. Write in this equation also. Applying values to this equation 1 mark. Final answer with unit 1 mark. So sometimes they can give maximum up to 3 marks for this type of question. Or else at least you will get 2 marks. Chemical calculation part, even in the essay and structured essays, will carry more marks. Now I got how many moles? 0.5 moles. So I converted this into moles. How? Mass divided by molar mass, 0.5 mole. Now I want to convert this into the molecules. Directly multiply this by Avogadro constant. 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Grams to moles, moles to molecules, because CO2 is a molecule. But if you get here sodium, then you can't tell sodium molecule, then you get sodium atoms. If this was calcium, calcium moles, then calcium atoms. If you take aluminium here, 0.5 moles, aluminium atoms. So you can't tell aluminium molecule or sodium molecule because they consist of atoms. So if it is a covalent molecule, then you can tell glucose molecule, water molecules, covalent molecules, first grams to moles, then multiply by Avogadro constant. So you don't need to simplify this. Why? Because they have given the answer this way. That means 22 moles means 22 divided by 44. That's how you then multiplied by 0.5. That multiplied by Avogadro constant. That multiplied by Avogadro constant. .022 into 10 to the power 23. So this is the answer, but the problem is I think they have not given this answer, so therefore I'll make it number of moles because otherwise there's no answer for this. Then we'll make it actually number of molecules. This should be the answer, but anyway you better copy down this because I think there's a small correction in the question. They must be asking number of moles because this answer is not there. Right. But anyway, you copy down the answer for the molecules, CO2 molecules. This is how you should find. What is this? Moles. This is how you convert. This should be not 0.5 on it. Sorry, 0.5 on it because it's already there. 22.4 divided by this is 0.5. This directly multiplied by Avogadro constant. No need to write again 0.5 because 0.5 it's 22 divided by 44. This is because if you only can put your 0.5 into Avogadro constant, no problem. 0.5 into Avogadro constant or 22 divided by 44 into Avogadro constant, both same. But since there's no answer, I'll change the question, make a small correction here. I'll write here number of moles. Then we'll end up with 22 divided by 44. Answer will be 3. Since they have not given the Avogadro constant among the answers in these answers, so I will make the question calculate number of moles in 22 grams of CO2. But if you want to calculate number of molecules, this answer should be multiplied by Avogadro constant. Question number 10, answer is 3. What is the correction? Number of moles. Convert molecules into moles. But imagine if you ask to find the number of atoms, what change should be done here. One more step. 1 CO2 mole has 3 atomic moles. This answer should be multiplied by 3. If you multiply that by 3, then you get the total number of atoms in 22 grams of CO2. Then it's one more step. 1 CO2 has 3 atoms. This answer should be multiplied by 3. Answer is 3. Question number 11. Which of the following compound is an ionic compound? Remember, this is also a short method to remember. If metal and non-metal combine, short method, if you can copy down, there are if metal and non-metal combine, mostly it's going to be ionic under your syllabus, but when it comes to A-level chemistry, this will change. For O-level syllabus, you can remember this short method. Metal plus non-metal, mostly, not always, mostly it's ionic compound. If non-metal and non-metal combine, mostly it's covalent. I can give many examples for this. You can, if there's a metal, okay, basically if there's at least one metal in a compound, it is ionic. If you don't know whether it's a metal or non-metal, that is the end of chemistry. So if non-metal combine, it is going to be mostly, not always, mostly it's going to be, if only non-metals combine, it is going to be covalent compound. Covalent compound. Covalent compound. The third possibility, metal combine, but metal in your syllabus, no chemical bonds. Actually there's something called metallic bonding, but it's not there in your O-level syllabus. Therefore you get alloys. If metal combine, alloys, but A-level we call it metallic bonding. That is one exception, right? Now there are exceptions also under this. Now I'll give many examples. Metal, non-metal, sodium and chlorine, sodium chloride, right? Calcium and oxygen, calcium oxide. So there are many examples. Sodium chloride, calcium oxide, metal, non-metal, metal, non-metal. If you take non-metal, you can say hydrogen and oxygen, say water. Or hydrogen and chlorine, non-metal, HCl, covalent. So glucose, C6H12O6. Are these non-metals? Yes. Therefore glucose is covalent. Glucose solution does not conduct electricity. Glucose consists of only atoms, no ions. When you dissolve glucose in water, no ions in the solution. Therefore glucose solution does not conduct electricity because it's a covalent compound. Not only glucose, any monosaccharide, covalent. Fructose, galactose, any disaccharide, covalent. They are soluble in water, but solution does not conduct electricity. Sucrose, lactose, maltose, they all soluble, they all covalent, right? So remember that short method. Then metal, you can take zinc and copper, brass. Zinc plus copper, brass as an alloy, right? Therefore this is how you can easily remember. If you only can copy down a short method, if there's at least one metal in a compound, it is ionic definitely. What is the only answer which contain a metal here? So lithium. All the others are non-metals. The only answer which contain metal, third answer, that is lithium. So I'll underline here lithium oxide. Lithium oxide. There are some exceptions. Please note down this separately, everyone. Even though there are no metals in these ones, ammonium chloride, remember it is ionic. So these are the exceptions. What are the exceptions? Ammonium chloride, nitrogen non-metal, hydrogen non-metal, chlorine non-metal, but it is covalent. In the next one, ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate also, sorry, it's not covalent, sorry about that, it's ionic. So it's ionic, sorry about that, it's ionic. This is ionic, this is also ionic. Both these are ionic even though they contain only non-metals. So these are the two exceptions in your syllabus. But in all the other instances, you get, if there are only non-metals in a compound, ammonia, NH3 non-metals only, glucose only non-metals, HCl only non-metal, water only non-metal, CH4 only non-metal, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide only non-metals, covalent. If there is at least one metal in a compound, I'll give one more example. Say copper sulfate. Copper sulfate is ionic. Why? There's a metal in it. Copper sulfate, CuSO4. What is the metal here? Copper. So it consists of Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Potassium permanganate, ionic. Why? K plus. There are two metals in it, potassium and manganese. Ionic. Or if you take silonitrate, ionic. Silochloride, ionic. because they are metals, right? So in your syllabus you can get magnesium content, all the group 1 metals, group 1 except hydrogen, all the group 1 metals form ionic compound, all the group 2 metals form ionic compound. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, ionic, right? Never form covalent. So therefore when you are given a formula, you should know whether it's covalent or ionic. Very basic things. And one more thing, these compounds you should know the dot and cross diagram, Lewis structures, dot and cross and Lewis structures, Lewis dot diagram, Lewis structures, Lewis dot dash diagram, Lewis structures of covalent compound you should know how to draw. Ionic compounds we don't draw Lewis structures. Lewis theory is applicable only for the covalent compounds, not for the ionic. Ionic bonds also you can represent the bond in using electronic diagrams, but Lewis theory is valid only for the covalent compounds, covalent molecules. Right. Let's move on to the next question. So what is the answer for question number 11? 3. Try to learn something new from each MCQ, at least a short method for the MCQ paper. Then only next paper you will perform better than before the chemistry part. Right. Next one. Question number 12. Material forms an atomic lattice. Atomic lattice. So this one, right? Water, it's a molecule. If water become ice, then we call it a molecular lattice. That is something else. So therefore water is a covalent molecule. It's a covalent molecule. It is not a lattice. Covalent molecule. But if water turns into ice, then is something else. If water become ice, then we call it a molecular lattice. That is not under your syllabus, right? Sodium chloride is ionic lattice. Why? It consists of only ions. Sodium chloride is ionic lattice. Na plus and Cl minus. Any ionic compound exists as ionic lattice. Silicon dioxide, heteroatomic covalent lattice. Actually earlier it was given as molecular lattice, but actually A-level chemistry we consider this heteroatomic covalent lattice. So here diamond consists of only carbon atoms, so that is atomic lattice. Actually when it comes to A-level there are 2 answers here, but O-level we take only diamond here, atomic lattice. So silicon dioxide is silicon dioxide SiO2, but actually it's like a molecule, but it's like a silicon dioxide is a lattice actually. Sand. If you put some sand into a pan and heat, will that melt like glucose or sugar? No. So it has high melting point, high boiling point. Silicon dioxide. Silica. Silicon is extracted from silicon dioxide. Silicon is important for making transistors and all this electronic industry. Silicon is very important. Silicon is the second most abundant metal in the earth crust. Second most abundant element. Silicon is the second most abundant element in the earth crust. Second most abundant. Silicon dioxide, urea, silica. Second most abundant element. What is the most abundant element in the earth crust? Oxygen. Because if you take silicon dioxide, there are 2 oxygen. 2:1 the ratio. Most abundance in the earth crust, oxygen. Second most abundant, silicon. Out of all the metals in the earth crust, highest aluminium. Second highest iron. So iron and aluminium we widely use in our day, because iron extraction we have in the grade 10 syllabus also. Right. Now question number 12, answer we take as fourth one, but I am not happy with this third answer also. If someone argue third also, we have to accept, right? Sometimes in this kind of situation they'll accept both 3 and 4 in oral marking sometimes, right? Question number 13. Question number 13. And one more thing, right? This diamond is homoatomic because it's made of the same atom. Homoatomic. If you only write here homoatomic, then you can filter this. If you put the word homoatomic lattice, then definitely it's diamond. Homoatomic covalent lattice. Diamond is homoatomic covalent lattice. Why it is covalent? Because it consists of covalent bonds. Carbon bonded through covalent bonds. There are covalent bonds. And silicon dioxide also covalent, but it's heteroatomic because there are 2 different atoms. So then if you make homoatomic lattice, definitely is diamond. Then we can omit silicon also, silicon dioxide also. Right. Question number 13. I'll erase the screen. 13th MCQ. This is a very good question. Non-polar bond. Right. Non-polar means non-polar bond. Okay. Please highlight the word non-polar bonds. Non-polar bonds are formed between similar atom, same type of atoms. Homoatomic bonds are non-polar bonds. Non-polar bonds are formed between homoatomic molecule. Homoatomic molecule. In any homoatomic molecule, that means between similar atoms. Between similar atoms. Between similar atoms. So HH, Cl, Cl, Cl2, N, N2, O, O, O2, F, F, F2, N, then you can write chlorine, fluorine, nitrogen, F2. So homoatomic, all these are non-polar covalent bonds. If bonds are formed between heteroatoms, so this is homoatoms. Homoatoms, non-polar covalent bonds. Heteroatoms, it is always polar covalent bond. Not the molecule, bonds. What is this? Heteroatoms. What are heteroatoms? Different atoms. Hetero means different atom. Homo means similar atoms. Heteroatoms, example, hydrogen and chlorine, HCl. Then if you take H and OH, this water molecule, heteroatom. So this is a non-polar covalent bond. HF, non-polar covalent bond. CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. Molecule is non-polar but bond is polar. This is the most important thing. Carbon tetra. Okay, I'll erase this and I'll explain this also. There are sometimes non-polar molecules with polar bonds. Very important. Carbon tetrachloride CCl4. It's a non-polar molecule. It's not water soluble. It's a non-polar organic solvent. What is CCl4? Non-polar organic solvent. You had done this grade 11 chapter 3. CCl4 is non-polar organic molecule or organic solvent. It's a covalent compound solvent. Even though it's non-polar, each bond is polar. That is the most important thing. If you take CCl bond, because it's different atoms, in the middle is C, not Cl. So CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride CCl4. This bond is polar. Please label this, everyone. Polar covalent bond. So the molecule is non-polar, but the bonds are polar. Bonds are polar. Non-polar covalent bond. Sorry, polar covalent bond. Polar covalent bond. But molecule is non-polar. CCl4 non-polar molecules containing covalent bonds. So you can write that non-polar molecules can have polar bonds. Example CCl4. Non-polar molecules can have polar bonds. And the other most important thing, water molecule. Water molecule is polar or non-polar? Water molecule is polar. Bonds also polar. Molecule also polar. Bonds also polar. Polar bond. And molecule also polar. Polar molecule and bonds also polar. Polar bond and polar molecule. CCl4, polar bonds but molecule non-polar. Okay, therefore don't mix up this. Molecule and the bonds, two different things. So now heteroatoms, what is the easiest method? If the bond is formed between different types of atoms, is polar bond. If the bond is formed between similar atoms, is non-polar bond. So actually the main reason here, electronegativity difference 0. 2.1. What is the electronegativity value of hydrogen? 2.1. Electronegativity of hydrogen 2.1. No need to memorize. So its electronegativity difference is 0. But if you take HCl, hydrogen electronegativity 2.1, chlorine 3.0. Then what is the difference? Difference will be 2.9 as 2.1. 1.9. 3 minus 2.1, 3 minus 0.9, sorry, 0.9. 3 minus 0, 2.1 is 0.9. Please write, everyone, if electronegativity difference is 0, like answer is here fourth, answer is fourth. Electronegativity difference 0, then it is non-polar bond. If electronegativity difference is more than 0, it is polar bond. That is the other method. Short method, similar atoms, non-polar. Different atoms, polar bond. Or else the other alternative method of explaining this, if the electronegativity difference 0, non-polar bond. If electronegativity difference more than 0, it's a polar covalent bond. Please copy down both these. Electronegativity difference between the atoms 0, non-polar covalent. If electronegativity difference more than 0, polar covalent bond. Or if you find that difficult, very weak student can remember at least what? If the atoms are same, non-polar bond. If atoms are different, polar covalent bond. That's it. Now let's move on to question number 14. 14th MCQ. Why noble gases do not form compounds? Not forming compounds with the other elements. The main reason, they are electronic configuration stable. That means they have noble gas electronic configuration. That is the answer. Question number 14, answer is second. Question number 14, answer is second. They have the example, their outer molecule is full. What are the noble gases? helium, neon, argon, krypton. Group 8 elements. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. But up to O level you have to remember at least atomic number 18 argon. At least up to 18 atomic number 18 argon you have to remember. So all these are called monoatomic gases. What is the other term used for this? Monoatomic gases. They are also known as monoatomic gases. So all the noble gases are monoatomic. They will never become diatomic. They will never combine with the other atoms. Why? Their outermost shell is full. Their outermost configuration is full. Therefore, they don't need to lose or gain any electrons. Actually, why atoms become molecule? Why hydrogen in the periodic table hydrogen is H? Why H become H2? H is unstable. H2 is more stable. H is unstable. Therefore, it combines some similar or different atom or at least with HCl, chlorine to make HCl. H2 is more stable. HCl is more stable than H. So this is more stable. Because HCl has unstable electronic configuration is unstable. Just one electron. When it becomes a molecule, electrons become 2 in the valence shell. So the first energy level can accommodate maximum 2 electrons. First energy level any atom can accommodate maximum 2 electrons. But hydrogen has only one. Therefore hydrogen atom is unstable. That's why it becomes H2O, HCl, H2. Right. Next one. So monoatomic gas correct, huh? But it's not the reason. Remember, they are monoatomic gases, but that is not the reason for not forming the chemical bonds. Those atoms have no electrons. Completely wrong anyway. This one is correct, but it's not relevant to the question asked. Because electronic configuration, those atoms unstable. No, that is wrong. It is very stable. 2, 8, 8. Outermost shell is full. Right, like that. 2, 8. Outermost shell is full. Question number 15. I'll erase the screen. 15th MCQ. Consider the following reaction. What is the element X? Remember, to displace, iron has displaced, then this X has to be, please put an arrow and write everyone. This is, please refer. To answer this question, you should know the activity series. You should know the activity series to answer this question. Grade 10. To answer, you should know the activity series, grade 10. To answer this question. To answer this question, you should know the grade 10 activity series. But please study activities, otherwise you will find many questions difficult in the oral paper. To answer this question, you should know the grade 10 activity series. You should know who is above. X should be above or below. To displace iron, first condition, X should be more reactive than iron. X should be, please write everyone. For this reaction to happen, X has to displace iron out. X come and displace iron out. Kick off. Iron has to go alone, leaving space for X. X goes with whom? Sulfate. X combine with sulfate and iron has to leave alone, giving the space for X. Why? X should be more reactive. More reactive. Please write that. For this reaction to happen, X should be more reactive. And it's a single displacement reaction. Second one, X should be above iron in the activity series. That's why I told activity series you should know. You have to find the metal which is above iron in the activity series. X should be above iron in the activity series. Please copy down this. Logically, how do you get the answer? Otherwise, I can just mark the answer and tell answer is this. But you should know how come this answer. Then only your thinking ability is improving. Problem solving skill improving. Analytical skills improving. Right? Synthesis, analysis, evaluation, problem solving. Not just recalling the previous memory. Remember, new syllabus science, like last few years, science paper was harder than maths paper. Right? Because the question they don't directly ask from your recalling the previous memory. So you get higher level of thinking. That means higher order of thinking. Questions, there are more questions with the practical applications, with practical situations, applicable day-to-day life. What are the practical applications of the things that you have learned in science? Related to those questions, there are more questions in the last few years papers. So what is the metal which is above iron in the activity series? So please highlight that, everyone. Please note down. For this reaction to happen, the metal added has to be more reactive. Metal added has to be more reactive. What is the metal here? X. And X should be above iron in the activity series. Now let's see the answers. Which metal is above iron in the activity series? Grade 10 chapter 16. Now what is activity series? Where? Grade 10 unit 16 activity series. Who is above iron? Any volunteers can give the answer for this? At least look at the activity series and tell me who is above iron in this. Who out of the 4 answers, which one is above iron? Then the single displacement take place. I'll ask the answer from Onet.
Zinc.
Zinc. Very good, Onet. Answer is zinc. Very good. Excellent. Answer is zinc. Zinc is more reactive than iron. Even if you attach an iron nail with zinc, iron nail does not rust. Why? Zinc is the bodyguard. Zinc is more reactive than iron. Therefore, zinc sacrifices or zinc oxidize, and zinc utilize, zinc sacrifice by itself to protect iron from rusting. Okay, so this is bimetallic corrosion. So that method is known as galvanizing. That method is known as galvanizing. If you keep an iron nail in contact with zinc, iron does not rust because zinc is more powerful. Instead of zinc, you can put your magnesium. But you can't put lithium, sodium, potassium. They are very highly reactive. They will react with atmospheric oxygen and moisture and get used up. Very violently reacting people also not good to have a bodyguard. Bodyguard should be like, very violent one. Then they will attack with the other people and get killed from the others. That is sodium, potassium. Group 1 metals not good for this, even though they are highly reactive, because they react with atmospheric moisture and get used up before protecting iron. Now, again, repeatedly I am telling this. Please study the activity series, the 14 metals. English alphabet there are 26 letters, but this is only 14 metals you have to remember in order. You can answer many questions easily if you know the activity series. Okay. I don't know how many of you can remember the activity series, but if not, please study. There are many questions related to the activity series in the oral paper. Right. Now all the other metals. Okay, I'll write this reaction. Okay, let's try the real one example now. When you add zinc into ferrous sulfate, so FeSO4, zinc more reactive, therefore it becomes zinc sulfate and iron get displaced. But if you add here silver, gold, platinum, copper, tin, can they displace iron? These guys are less reactive. Iron will say, I can't go because you all are weak, I will stay with sulfate. None of you can displace me because you all are less reactive, you all below me. If zinc come, iron has to say, you are very powerful than me, so I will leave, you go with sil. You can go with sulfate. You can combine with sulfate, I am leaving alone because you are more powerful. If you add zinc, if you add magnesium, yes, then iron has to say, magnesium, you are above me, therefore I will leave, you go with sulfate. What is this reaction called? Single displacement reaction. In grade 10 chemistry, these type of reactions are known as single displacement. That means iron gets one element or a metal in a compound get displaced by another metal or element. Iron get displaced by zinc. This is called single displacement reaction. Observations also you should know if they ask in the exam. They can change the metal. The same reaction I can put so there are 14 metals in the activity series. They can put any pair. Iron, they don't ask the atomic number, electronic configuration. They will not ask iron and zinc, right? A zinc atomic number 30, but they will never ask the atomic number or the configuration. Symbol you should know, and the position of zinc you should know. And the other thing you should know, zinc always become Zn2+. That also you should know. Electrochemistry and all you have learned, right? Zinc become Zn2+. Iron can become Fe2+ and Fe3+ both, but mostly it's Fe2+ in your syllabus. Those things also you should know. Otherwise it's like magic. Now you don't know how come this charge, because that is not in your periodic table, right? Then what is the answer for this? Zinc. How come? Zinc is more powerful, more reactive than iron. Zinc is above iron in the activity series, therefore reaction take place. I'll read the screen now. Question number 16. Gas production. Remember this. Okay, forget about the answers. They are asking to collect carbon dioxide. Not only carbon dioxide, each setup I want you to write which gas can be collected by this method. If the gas is heavier gases can be collected by this method. Heavier gases. What are the heavier gases? Example, carbon dioxide. This second tube you can collect lighter gases. Light gases like what? Light gases, light in weight. Example, hydrogen. Why? It is rising up. Lighter gases are rising up in air. Heavier gases are more attracted towards the earth. when the gases are heavier, gravitational attraction towards the heavier gases more than towards the lighter gases. Carbon dioxide is heavier, it is more strongly attracted towards the earth than hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas light in weight, gravitational attraction toward what is W equals mg, so the gravitational, so the weight less. Right? Now this method, underwater, any gas which is insoluble in water or weakly soluble in water can be collected by the third method. Look at the screen, everyone. Gases that are weakly soluble, right? Like any gas you can collect underwater. Any gas less soluble in water. Any gas less soluble in water or insoluble, less soluble in water can be collected. Example, you can collect oxygen here. Oxygen you can collect underwater, even though certain amount get dissolved, but oxygen you can collect underwater. Even carbon dioxide also, if you want, you can collect, but it's not a very good method because carbon dioxide to a certain extent it get dissolved. After dissolving, after saturating the solution, this water, then the rest will go up. Oxygen, even hydrogen you can collect underwater. Any gas you can collect underwater, but it is, imagine ammonia gas. Ammonia gas not suitable to collect underwater. Why? Ammonia water soluble. Ammonia is a basic, please write down everyone. Ammonia, don't mix up this ammonia and ammonium. NH3 is ammonia, NH4 plus is ammonium. Ammonia is a gas that is a basic gas. Ammonia gas dissolves in water forming ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide, that's a weak base. Ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. Ammonia is a basic gas. So therefore it's not suitable to collect ammonia gas underwater because it's soluble in water than oxygen and hydrogen. Right? Now you can easily get the answer. Carbon dioxide is a heavier gas. So you can collect carbon dioxide even from the this method also. Any gas can be collected underwater if it is less soluble in water. Carbon dioxide, when you open the soda bottle, what is the gas bubbles? What? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide does not like to stay in water. That's why the pressure is released and the CO2 is expelled to the atmosphere. Soda. Carbon dioxide fire extinguishers. So you pressurize that and CO2 fire extinguishers. So what is the answer for this? CO2 gas. To collect CO2 gas, A is correct, C is correct. Answer is second. Answer is second. A and C. A and C. Question number 17. Please note down additional points. Not to mark the answer, you have to, and if you have got the printout of this paper, please raise the hand those who have got the printout of this paper, then you can no need to draw this diagram, then it otherwise takes more time. Because I can't give time to copy down, then we can't complete even MCQ paper. Please raise the hand those who got the hard copy of this. Right, there are nearly 20 students at least. Okay. And one more thing I want to know, please raise the hand those who are joining directly from the school, either school, your smart classroom, or maybe from your school main hall or somewhere. How many students are joining directly from the school? Those who are directly joining from the school, those who are going to the school today and joining from the school. Everyone, all of you are joining from at home. Okay, right. Then question number 17. None of you are joining from directly from the school, right? Yeah. Okay. Then question number 17. 17th MCQ. Select the equation with single displacement. Very easy. Earlier also I told. Zinc is above copper in the activity series, therefore zinc can displace copper out. Therefore the answer is second. Single displacement, answer is second. Please write down the others. This is decomposition. One is broken down into many. One is broken down into two substances. This is called thermal decomposition. One more thing I want you to write here. This is a decomposition reaction as well as this is an endothermic reaction. Please note down everyone. Calcium carbonate, very important. They can ask this. Sometimes they can ask drawing energy level diagram also. Calcium carbonate, that is an endothermic reaction because to decompose calcium carbonate you have to supply heat, energy. Heat is absorbed to break down this ionic compound into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Therefore endothermic reactions, products having higher energy. Why? Due to the absorption of heat. Reactants having low energy. Reactants having low energy. Therefore this reaction, please note down that once in the oral paper they ask which of the following is an exothermic reaction as well as neutralization. That is sodium hydroxide and HCl. neutralization reaction as well as it is an exothermic reaction. So only once they ask that question, I think 2019 or 20. In upcoming papers they can ask which of the following is a decomposition reaction as well as endothermic reaction. Answer is first one. But you need to supply heat here. This triangle, actually this triangle should come below the arrowhead. Calcium carbonate is a solid. This is called quicklime. This is called quicklime. This is called limestone. Limestone. And so this is what? Please write, put a stand right below first reaction, right? It's a thermal decomposition reaction as well as an endothermic reaction. You can put this under a given reaction can be classified under many types, not only under one type. Grade 10 you learn single double combination decomposition. Grade 11 you learn endothermic, exothermic, neutralization. So therefore some of the reactions can come under more than one type. So please write here decomposition reaction as well as an endothermic reaction. This is an endothermic reaction, the first one. Endothermic reaction as well as decomposition reaction. Okay. Third one, double displacement reaction. Third one is double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. And this is combination reaction. Right. Fourth one, please write under each. Combination reaction. So the answer is second. Instead of zinc, you can put here any other metal above copper. Any other metal above copper. One more thing you should know here, copper sulfate is a blue solution. Blue solution become colorless. Here blue solution become colorless. And reddish brown copper deposit. When you add in to copper sulfate solution zinc, blue solution become colorless and reddish brown copper deposit. Those observations also very important. Those observations also very important. Right, question number 18. I'll erase the screen. 18. So the answer is second, right? Please mark the answer. Those who have done this at home, you can mark with a red pen and see whether you can get at least 30 or above. Question number 18. Very important. Sometimes they can ask this under MCQ or sometimes they can ask this under structured assay type or even assay type. Not glucose or paracetamol or disprin, aspirin. They don't ask like monosaccharide, disaccharide or sucrose, galactose, maltose. They don't ask Lewis structure. Simple molecule. Maximum 4-5 atoms. Maximum 4-5 atoms in a covalent compound. They can ask Lewis structure, right? So mostly they ask these under ammonia, CH4, CCl4, water. Now they are asking not accurate. Any volunteers? Let's see how many of you can guess the answer for the 18th MCQ. Any volunteers? 18th MCQ the answer? Not accurate. I'll ask the answer from Ransika, Moksha.
Second.
First
one, second one. Nugita, Nadim.
So the third one.
Third one. First one, second one, third one. Okay, anyone say fourth one? Ruvindi, what is the answer? Yes, Ruvindi. Second one. Right. Answer is second, Ruvindi. Answer is correct. Answer is second. How come second? What is missing? This is the incorrect one. Incorrect one is second. Why? Because what is missing? Who can tell me why second one is wrong? Any volunteers? Who can tell me why second one is wrong? Indunil?
Lone pairs are missing.
Very good. Indunil. Lone pairs missing. Why here? Please write lone pairs on nitrogen missing. That's why it's incorrect. Lone pairs on nitrogen atom missing. Remember, in the Lewis structure, all the valence electrons should be there. In the Lewis structure, all the valence electrons should be there. So there must be a lone pair that is missing. Because in the Lewis structure, central atoms should reach octet. Please write that, everyone. Central atom, how many electrons are there? 8. 2 bonds and 4 electrons. There are 8 electrons around oxygen here. Look at here. This carbon, 4 bonds, 8 electrons there. This carbon, 4 bonds, 8 electrons are there. That is called octet rule. What is the main condition in the Lewis theory? Central atom has to reach octet or except hydrogen gas. hydrogen only is only 2 electrons. In all the others, when they form the Lewis structure, central atom should reach octet. Can you all please write here? Here only 6 3 bonds means how many electrons around nitrogen? Look at the screen, everyone. Around nitrogen here only 6 electrons. That is why it's wrong. 6 electron. So that is violating the Lewis theory. Actually, this Lewis structures was introduced by a scientist called G.N. Lewis. But there are many drawbacks of that theory also, because some of the molecules you can't draw the Lewis structure with odd number of electrons. Okay, if you please copy down this, everyone. Conditions for Lewis theory, Lewis structures. All the electrons should be in the form of pairs, either as bonding pairs or lone pairs. All the electrons in the valence shall be in the valence shell. Should be there, should be represented. Only no inner shells. Inner shells no need. Only the valence means outermost shell should be represented. Second condition, central atom. What is the central atom here? Oxygen. First one, rather central atom oxygen. Oxygen, how many altogether? 8 electrons, 2 bonds and 2 lone pairs. Nitrogen atom only 6 electrons, only 3 bonds. Carbon atom 4 bonds, 1 bond 2 electron, 1 bond 2 electron, 2 into 4 8 electrons. Carbon atom CCl for what? Central atom there are 4 bonds, 8 electrons. So that is called octet. So here central atom has reached. Central atom should reach octet. What is octet? 8 electrons. In any Lewis structure, if I draw water molecules, look at here, water, H2O. When you draw water molecule, see whether central atom has reached octet. Water, 2 bonds. 2 bonds means how many electrons? 4 electrons. 4 electrons. Oxygen group 6. There are 4 more electrons left as lone pairs. So total electrons around oxygen 8. Octet reach. Now there are some exceptions to Lewis structure. One example, shall I read this? What are the exceptions or we call it incomplete octet. Incomplete octet. This is a very good, they can ask a question from this. Some of the teachers, they don't highlight these things in the school also when teaching. One example, BCl3. BCl3 only 3 bonds. This is the correct structure, but this are only 6 electrons around the central atom. Around boron atom only 6 electrons in BCl3. So this is called what? Incomplete octet. What is this called? Incomplete octet. Lacking 8, less than 8. Incomplete octet. BCl3. So boron group 3 ne? Boron group 3 cannot form more than 3 bonds. 2, 3. Outermost 3. Group 3. Valency 3. Boron outermost 3. Group 3. Valency 3 can form 3 bonds. And therefore it cannot form up to 4 bonds. No lone pairs also left. All 3 electrons in the outermost shell used up for the bond formation. BCl3. So therefore BCl3, it is an example for incomplete octet. So Lewis theory, therefore this is unstable. BCl3. So there are exceptions for this Lewis theory. According to the Lewis theory, the central atom has to reach octet. Now one more example. There are instances where the expanded octet. I'll tell one example, PCl5. Around phosphorus there are 5 bonds. Why? Phosphorus can have phosphorus under group 5. Phosphorus under group 5. Atomic number 15. 285. Outermost 5. Maximum valency 5. Can form 5 bonds. Phosphorus can form up to how many bonds? 5 bonds. Outermost 5 electron. Group 5. Outermost 5. Valency 5. Most common valency is 3. But phosphorus can have valency 5 also. What are the 2 valencies of phosphorus? 3 and 5. Group 5 elements 3 and 5. But nitrogen cannot have 5. Therefore NCl5 is not there. So therefore this can have 5 bonds. 5 bonds means how many electrons total? 10 electrons. 1 bond 2 electron. 1 bond 2 electron. 2 into 5 10 electrons. What is 10 electron? More than 8. More than 8. That is called expanded octet. Expanded octet. 10 electrons. How come? 1 bond 2 electron. 2 into 5 10 electron. More than 8. Expanded octet. So what is the incomplete octet example? BCl3. What is expanded octet example? PCl5. So most of the molecules it's octet. What is octa? Octa means 8. Octane. 90 octane. 8 carbon in the petrol. 90 octane. 95 octane. Octane is petrol. 8 carbon. C8H18 octane. Right. So octa means 8. Having 8 electrons, that is to achieve the noble gas competitive field outermost shell. Right. So those things are very important. When you are drawing the Lewis theory, see whether central atom has reached octet. Otherwise, that will not be a that is violating Lewis theory. And Lewis theory, there are some, you can't draw the Lewis structures for all the molecules in the world. There are some drawbacks of the Lewis theory also. Sometimes the teachers might give different molecules, but some I'll give one example. Some molecules you get odd electrons. Total number of electrons odd. Then how can you have pairs? You will end up with one electron, single electron. So there are like if you now always you should explore, and you should know everything about this. Then you can manage any question in the exam. Right, just to memorize one, this is the Lewis structure of water, you memorize. This is the Lewis structure of ammonia. Don't do like that. Common things you should know related to all the Lewis theory, all the Lewis structures. And Lewis structures, lone pairs and bonding pairs. Bonding pairs you put a dash, lone pairs you put pair of dots. Right, pair of dots. Right, then let's move on to the next one. So what is the answer for this? NH3, yeah? NH3 is ammonia. But lone pairs missing here. Actually it has a lone pair, but they have not shown that. That's why it's not accurate. Very good question. Only one student gave the answer. Question number 19. Right, question number 19. Rate of reaction, chapter 17, grade 10. Unit 17, grade 10. The speed of reaction is the amount of change occurs in a unit time. Okay. I think next page you have to get the answers. 19th one. Which of the above statements? Okay, they are asking the correct statement. Let's see which one is correct. Any volunteers? 19th MCQ, who can give me the answer? Any volunteers? 19th MCQ. Is there anyone who has done this? Yes? How many of you have done this? None of you. Okay, let's see. This is correct. The speed is what? Amount of change. That means maybe the mass or the concentration in a unit time. What is the equation for the rate? Rate equal amount of change divided by time taken. So example, you get 3 grams of products form in 2 minutes. Then per minute how many grams? 1.5 grams per minute. That is the rate of the formation of the product. So example, calcium oxide. You are going to get the as a product. So that calcium oxide, 3 grams, that is the change. So it from 5 grams to it increase up to 8 grams. Okay, I'll give one of the best example. Okay, look at this. Then you will understand the first one, the meaning of this first statement. Look at the screen, everyone. I'll tell here. Imagine calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate I decompose. Right, calcium carbonate decomposed to this. Now I have the product is what? Imagine products increases from 5 grams to 8 grams in say 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, 5 grams became 8 grams in 2 minutes. What is the change now? Change, that is called amount of change in a unit time. Change will be what? Change over time taken. That is called the rate. So change will be what? 8 minus 5. Change means final value minus initial value. Divide by grams. Divide by 2 minutes. Time 2 minutes. What is the rate of the change now? Rate of the change means what? Rate of reaction. 3 divided by 3 grams divided by 2 minutes. Then you get the answer 1.5 grams per minute. What is the final answer? 1.5 grams are forming every minute. That is the rate. 1.5 grams forming every minute. 3 divided by 2, 1.5. So that is called amount of change divided by time taken. Amount of change can be expressed in grams. If you want change, you can express in milliliters. If it is a gas, you can get in milliliters. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, this much of milliliters form in 10 seconds. Therefore, per second, how many milliliters? That is called the rate. Rate means how fast something is happening. How fast the products are forming. How far, when the products are forming reactants, what happen? Imagine you have 10 grams. 10 grams can become say 6 grams. Reactants getting used up. Products increase. So you can look at the reactants also can tell the rate. If the reactants getting disappeared fast, the rate is high. If the products are forming fast, then also the rate is high. Rate means how fast something is happening. So here the reaction, in the reaction, the products and the reactants. Products are forming, reactants are disappearing. So how fast is happening called rate. Why it is important in our daily life? If you increase the rate of a reaction, imagine you are doing a business like lime industry. Imagine you have a lime kiln. In Sinhala we call it hunu poranu. You can make quick lime by burning corals in the sea, limestone. Imagine if you can increase this rate of this reaction by modifying the condition or powdered form or whatever the temperature you modify and get the rate. What is the benefit? Labor cost reduce, electricity bill reduce, running cost reduce. You can supply the demand in less time. Customer satisfaction. Customers getting, now these days in Sri Lanka, what is the problem? Everything shortage of rice, the products and the raw materials. We don't have dollars to import raw materials, so therefore now we can't satisfy the customers, people in the country, the government. So they are struggling to give even electricity, to provide electricity 24 hours. So these are the issues. Why? We don't have fuel, petrol, diesel, coal. We are importing. We don't have dollars to import them, right? So these are the issues. So then what happened? If you are doing a small scale industry or even a business, this matters. If you increase the rate, then you can save time, money, electricity bill, labor cost, no need to pay overtime. That's why chemical industry is very important. We are scientists, they are doing research to increase the rate without making much effort by modifying various conditions. Now you can understand, for you the rate is only to get marks, but when it comes to the industry, increasing the rate is very important, right? To make more profit. Therefore, my advice, do this with the intention of improving your chemistry knowledge rather than just memorizing it. So first statement is correct. The speed of the reaction is the amount of change. The speed means the rate, how fast is happening. Right, now I'll erase the screen. Next one. Then see the statement B. The speed of a reaction can be determined by measuring the amount of reactant used. That's why I told calcium carbonate getting used up in a specific period of time. Yes, amount of change can be for the reactants or products. It can be reactant or it can be products, right? So amount of reactants contributed or products produced in a unit time. Formation of calcium carbonate in a unit time, or disappearance of appearance of calcium oxide or disappearance of calcium carbonate. You heat this. So both sides you can consider. Then let's see the third statement. By measuring even 100 meters race, what you are doing is this. What is your product? 100 meters race. 100 meters time taken. Okay, one person take 10 seconds, the other person take 9 seconds, then third person take 7 seconds. Who is the fastest runner? The one who take less time. 100 meters, the same quantity of products, the time taken you record. So even in 100 meters race, not only in the chemistry, so you record the time taken. So when you want to find the rate, you have to record the time for a change, right? By measuring the amount of time to produce certain amount of products or certain amount of reactants, contribution for the reaction. So by measuring the time, you can measure the time, or you can measure the amount of products. All three are correct actually. The same thing they have given in a different format. So all three statements are correct. I don't explain the third one because I explained at the beginning everything, right? So therefore answer will be 4. All ABC are correct. All three are correct. All ABC correct. Question number 20. 3 tubes, 5 ml, 10 ml, 15 ml water, and added hydrochloric acid. Liquid level was equal. Then the magnesium strips added, same size, 3 tubes simultaneously, and the reaction was monitored. What he tested this activity? He took different volume of water. Look at here, different 5 ml, 10 ml, and 15 ml, and added equal hydrochloric acid equally. Hydrochloric acid added equally. Okay, you can make a small sketch of this diagram, then you can understand what is happening. This is how you can get the questions in the exam. There are 4 factors affecting the rate of reaction. Okay, so what is added now? You have 3 tubes. To one tube you put 5 ml, and the other tube you put 10 ml, and the other tube you put 15. Now you add in. So what is this water? All 3 tubes contain water. All 3 tubes contain water. Hydrochloric acid added until the liquid level become equal. Okay, I'll make it liquid level equal. I'll up to here. All this you add hydrochloric acid up to HCl become equal. So what is this red one? HCl. You add HCl. Now the total volume, you take all this total volume, say 10 ml, 10 ml. Not, I'll make it 20 ml because it's 15 in the last one. Okay, to make it 20 until 20 ml you add. Now who can tell me? I'll take the 3 tubes ABC. Which tube has the highest concentration of HCl? Okay, label this one as HCl, and this is water. Black one is water. First one the water 5 ml. It's a very good question. Second one water. First one water. Look at the data given at the question. So this is called analysis. These are, I told you, higher order level questions you are getting in the paper. That is for the people those who are going for the A pass. There are MCQs in the OL paper, those who are going for the S pass. There are MCQs in the OL paper, those who are going for the C pass. There are MCQs in the OL paper, those who are going for B and A pass. So this is this type of question. Those who are going for good grade, higher, over 75 or 60 at least. So this is water. So in all this black part is water. Red one is acid. So here you put here 5, 10 and 15 water. Then to make it 20, what is the HCl volume required in the first one? To make it 20, HCl you need what? 15. Here you need HCl to make it 20 total 20 ml all this. Now already 10 ml water. How many ml HCl? 10. 10. Last one you need only 5 ml HCl. Why? HCl only 5 because already 15 water. 15 plus 5 20. Here 10 10 20. 10 10 20 HCl. Here HCl 15. Now my question, which tube has the highest concentration of HCl? In that one, reaction occurs very fast. When you add magnesium strip, into which one the reaction occurs fast? So all 3 tubes you add all the other conditions same. Sometimes they can ask essay or structural essay also this type of question. Same size, same surface area, magnesium strips added to all 3 tubes. Which tube has the highest concentration? In which tube the magnesium reaction occurs with HCl rapidly? And effect of which factor is tested here? First tell me effect of which factor is tested here. I'll ask from Nadin. Any other volunteers?
Concentration.
Yeah. Any other volunteers? Yeah. Very good, Nadin. Your answer is correct. Yeah. Testing the effect of concentration of the reactant. Right. Please make a small sketch of this diagram. Black one water, red one HCl. So more HCl, less water in the tube 1. Tube A has the highest HCl concentration. Tube A highest HCl concentration. Why? More HCl, less water. Highest HCl concentration. And tube C has lowest HCl concentration. Lowest HCl concentration. Why? Less HCl, more water. Therefore reaction, I am telling some additional information. Sometimes they can give these 3 diagrams in the upcoming papers and ask in which tube reaction occurs fastest. Answer is A. So here very simple. Answer is very simple. The testing the effect of the concentration. Answer is 4th. Question number 20. Answer is 4th. Question number 20. Answer is 4th. Right. Please raise the hand those who got this answer before me. How many of you got this answer before me? There are nearly 20, 50. Very good, very good. Okay, there are about 20 students. I'm very happy. Okay, at least 20 students are there. Okay, good. But one more thing you have to learn: in which tube the highest HCl concentration? They don't ask that here. In which tube the reaction occurs fastest? In which tube the magnesium don't get disappeared soon? Tube A. Tube A reaction fast. Hydrogen bubbles are evolving fast. Magnesium strip getting disappeared fast. Right? All this you can write. Next one. If you only can graphically represent this also. If you write the rate of the evolution of H2 gas, is a nice question. They can make a nice essay type or structured essay type question from this. Look at the screen, everyone. If I represent this graphically, hydrogen gas is coming out when magnesium react with HCl. When magnesium react with water. They are putting HCl or water here. Yeah, HCl mixed with water. Yeah. So when magnesium react with HCl, you can draw 3 graphs like this, like this. I'll put 1, 2, 3. First graph, the rate is high. Highest rate, first graph. Lowest rate, third graph. This graph to finish the reaction, it takes long time. The first graph, the reaction finishing in less time. The first graph is applicable to tube A. First graph is applicable to tube A. Second graph applicable to tube B. Tube A, this is tube B, and this is tube C. Like that, graphically also you can represent their rate. Very important. Right. Question number 21. Catalyst in the production of ammonia. This recalling directly the previous knowledge. Answer is iron. Answer is 3. Right. Please write that, everyone. This manganese dioxide is used as a catalyst for H2O2 decomposition. Platinum and nickel, that is for hydrogenation of unsaturated fat for producing margarine. Platinum also used nitric acid industry. Grade 10 chapter 17 last part. Grade 10 unit 17 textbook, last few pages you get this a separate table, catalyst and the industries. So iron is used in the production of ammonia by Haber process. Question number 22. Heterogeneous mixtures. This is from grade 11 chapter 3. Grade 11 unit 3. Who can give me the answer? Any volunteers? Question number 22. Any volunteers? Question number 22. Ransika Mandivya. Ransika, what is the answer? Yes?
4th.
Very good, Ransika. Answer is 4th. Excellent. Answer is 4th. Question number 22. Answer is 4th. Solution of clay, solution of laundry blue and cement mortar, heterogeneous. Why can't you take the first answer? Because glucose solution is homogeneous. This is homo. Why can't you take the second answer? Salt solution is homo. Why can't you take the third answer? Okay, I'll underline why can't you take, because if you have marked the other answers, you can check. Why can't you take the third answer? Again, glucose solution is homogeneous. Right. Question number 23. 23rd MCQ. Any volunteers? 23rd MCQ. Anyone can give the answer? Can anyone give me the answer? Please raise the hand. What is 30? This again grade 11 chapter 3. Grade 11 unit 3. Composition of mixtures. Method of expression. So WOW present. 36.5%. WOW means what? Yeah, Moksha. First answer. 100 parts of solution content, 36 parts of hydrochloric acid. Yeah. Higher 100. 36.5. This is the solute. And 100 means it is the solution. 100. The solution 100 contain 36.5 parts the solute. So that is hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid 36.5 grams present in 100 grams of not solvent, solution. That means this 100 grams is what? Both water and HCl. Total. Water plus HCl total. That's why we call it solution. The solute is HCl. Very important. Please highlight that if you want. This is HCl. This is total, the water and HCl both. Solution. So the best answer is what? This is WOW. So that should be the mass then. You can't have the volume. Volume wrong. Completely you can omit the third and the fourth answer because WOW is weight. That is not the volume. So answer has to be 1 and 2. Then the answer is the first best answer is the most correct one is first one. I'll underline the first answer. That is the answer. Volume WOW means not the. If it is VOV, then you can consider the third and fourth answer. Third and fourth. Right. Question number 24. 24th one. This is a very good question. It's a kind of a hard one. Those who are going for the A and B pass. This question is important. Those who are going for A and B pass. Chemical calculation. Very good question. Nice question. H plus ions and sulfate ion concentration in 0.5 H sulfuric acid. 0.5 concentration of sulfuric acid is given. Look at the screen, everyone. sulfuric acid concentration given 0.5. Now they are asking H plus ion concentration and sulfate ion concentration. Look at the screen everyone. If you take, this is very important, if you take sulfuric acid 0.5 moles per cubic decimeter H2SO4, this will be 2 times 2H plus, and sulfate will be SO4 2 minus, because it's a strong acid. When H2SO4 ionizes, it separates into 2H plus and SO4 2 minus. This is applicable only for O level, but A level there will be a 2 reactions, right? So that means 2:1 the ratio. 1 H2SO4 giving 2 times of H plus and 1 time of sulfate ion. Look at the balance equation. Now it's a strong acid, therefore it's completely ionized because it is a strong acid. Now you can see this is 0.5, this become what? 2 into 0.5. This become 2 into 0.5 because 2 times are forming that. 2 into 0.5. This will be only 1 time, therefore it's 0.5. 0.5. This is 2 into 0.5. This is 0.5. So then if you multiply this by 2, then it's become what? 1 mole per cubic decimeter. This will be 0.5 moles per cubic decimeter. What is the answer? That means hydrogen ion will be 2 times than sulfate. So when this become 1, this becomes 0.5, the same ratio, right? This is 1.0, this is 0.5. Answer is respectively. H plus ion should come first. So the answer is, please raise the hand those who got the answer for this. Answer is second, right? Answer is second. Answer is second. Please take a screenshot at least those who have not done this, because otherwise no point of just marking the answer. You should know the technique. First you start with this. First you start with this and then separate them back to this. This and this. Right? Those who have got the answer before me, very good. So it's 2 times multiplied by 2 because there are 2H plus. 0.5 into 2. This one same as sulfuric acid. Right. Question number 25. I'll erase the screen. 25. So again chemical calculation. Mole fraction of NaOH. Mole fraction of NaOH. 10 grams of NaOH and 180 grams of pure water. Okay. To find the mole fraction, you should know the moles. To find the mole fraction, you should know the moles. You should know the moles. Okay, let's see. First find the number of moles of NaOH and water separately. Then you can easily get the answer. Look at the screen everyone. NaOH moles equal 10 grams divided by 40. 10 divided by 40 by 10 the mass given, molar mass 40. Then you get 1 over 4. I think, well, let's see the answers whether they have simplified this. Okay. Okay, I'll write here 1 over 4. 1 over 4 moles. Then let's see water moles. H2O moles. How to find H2O moles? 180 divided by 18. Why 18? Molar mass of water 18. Then you get what? 10 moles. 10 moles. 10 moles. So what is the mole fraction of NaOH? NaOH mole fraction equal NaOH moles divided by total moles. That means NaOH and water both. Look at the screen everyone. NaOH, I put the symbol X for the mole fraction. NaOH mole fraction equal NaOH moles divided by total moles. Total means NaOH plus water both. NaOH moles how many? 0.25 or 1 over 4. I put 0.25. This will be what? 1 over 4 means 0.25. Okay. 1 over 4 means 0.25. Divide by 10 plus 0.25. Then what is the answer? When you simplify this, you get 0.25 divided by 10.25. See whether this answer is there among this. They have got 10 over 11. 1 over 18. 1 over 11. I think you don't get, if you multiply this by, you get 1 over, if you multiply both by, I think there's no answer they have given here, right? This is the correct method, you should get it. 40, 41 you get here. 1 over 41 is the answer. 1 over 41, no. They have given 1/11. Most probably then they have given a wrong data here. I'll check the single medium paper. I think this should be most probably 40 grams. Okay, so we'll make it for, otherwise it was no answer. We'll make it 40 grams NaOH, then you get 1 mole. Then 1/10 you get 1/11. Yeah, can you make a small correction there? This one you will make it 40 grams, then it's easy. Otherwise you will not get the answer because there's a small correction here. The printing mistake must be, you make it 40 grams. Please make NaOH 40 grams, then we'll get the answer easily. 40 grams, then I'll move to here 40, then here it will be 1 mole. So NaOH I'll get 1 mole. Water you get 10 mole and 1 mole. Then I'll apply the values to this one. 10 divided by 11. Answer will be 10 divided by 11. 1 mole. Then here 1 plus 10. Then you get 1/11. Answer will be 1/11. One divided by 11. 1 divided by 11 mole. Mole fraction no units. Mole get cancelled. Here also mole. Please make a small correction here. Question number 25, it's make it 40 grams of NaOH, right? So then otherwise there's no answer. Done. Question number 25. Yeah, it's 40 grams. Yeah. Please, I'll highlight this, make it 40 grams. Otherwise no answer. 40 grams, not 10 grams. Done. Then question number 26. 26th MCQ. Exothermic reaction does not occur. Does not occur, highlight. Exothermic, highlight. When you put sodium into water, it's exo. Why? It's rapidly react. Sodium react very violently with water, heat is released. Exo means heat is given out. Adding water to burn lime. Burn lime means calcium oxide and water. That is exothermic. So if you want to write here calcium oxide plus water, you get calcium hydroxide. This is exothermic reaction. This is exo. This is also exo. Add in water into quicklime. Sodium plus water, that also you get sodium hydroxide. It is exothermic reaction. NaOH, this is exo. Then add in water to glucose. Water and glucose, actually it's not a reaction, just dissolving. Glucose solution, that is endothermic. This is endo. Dissolve in glucose, maltose, sucrose, lactose, galactose. So basically monosaccharide and disaccharide, if you dissolve in water, is endothermic. Candle burning anyway is exothermic, because any combustion reaction is exothermic. Any combustion reaction is exothermic. Any combustion reaction exothermic. So this is endo. Answer is 3. Question number 26, answer is 3. This is from grade 11 unit 8. Grade 11 unit 8. Question number 27. They are asking correct increase in order of the pH. Increase in order of the pH. pH increases. That means lowest to highest. Lowest pH this. Highest pH this. Lowest to highest H2SO4 means that is D. D should come first. D should come first. That is H2SO4. Lowest pH. That is a strong acid. Then you should get next one. Next highest pH. CH3COOH, that is C. Look at that, is a weak acid. Acid means low pH. This is a strong acid. Sulfuric acid. This is a weak acid. What is the next highest pH? Weak base, that is B here. Ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. NH4OH weak base. I put WB. Highest pH, most basic. Sodium hydroxide is a strong base, therefore it has high pH. pH above 7 means basic. pH above 7 means basic. That is sodium hydroxide. That is a strong base. So what is the answer? Answer is DCBA. DCBA. Answer is second. Question number 27. Answer is second. DCBA. Question number 28. Let's see the next one. 28th MCQ. Neutralization reaction. This came once in the old paper also. This is decomposition. This is double displacement. This is magnesium nitrate and here silver chloride is missing at HCl. This is double displacement. This is neutralization. What is the answer? Answer is 3. Acid base reaction. Acid base reaction. So this is acid, this is base, you get salt and water. What is neutralization? Reaction of an acid with a base forming salt and water. Answer is 3. Reaction of an acid with a base forming salt and water. That means H plus come from acid, OH minus come from base. When they combine, what is forming? Base release OH minus, acid release H plus. When these two combine, what is forming? So formation of water by combining H plus and OH minus is called neutralization. Please write everyone, this is a neutralization reaction as well as it is an exothermic reaction. Any neutralization reaction is exothermic. Any acid base reaction exothermic. Heat is evolved, heat is released. Heat is released. Sometimes according to grade 10 chemistry you might tell this double displacement also. According to grade 10 chemistry you might tell double displacement also. Sodium goes with chlorine, H plus goes with OA. Double displacement, neutralization, exothermic. A given reaction can be categorized under more than one type of reaction. Question number 29. Dehydrator, that is H2SO4. Grade 11 chapter 7. It is used as a dehydrating agent. Actually it should be H2SO4. Dilute H2SO4 cannot be used. Concentrated sulfuric acid used as a dehydrating agent. Please write that everyone. It is used as, what is dehydrator? It can remove moisture from a substance. Dehydrating agent. If battery acid contact with your skin get burned. And if you put some battery acid into a sugar or glucose, it's become like black powder because of removal of water. Only carbon will be left. Hydrogen and oxygen from glucose going out as water vapor. Only carbon will be left. Question number 29 answer is second. Question number 28 third. I'll erase the screen. Next one. Question number 30. Ammonium chloride dissolution. It is an endothermic reaction because ionic compound ammonium chloride ionic compound. When you dissolve ionic compound in water, heat is absorbed for breaking down the lattice. Again I am repeating this. When you add ammonium chloride into water, to break down the lattice, heat is absorbed from water, then temperature of water decrease. Heat is absorbed from water for breaking the ionic compounds in the ionic bonds in the ammonium chloride. For breaking ionic bond, heat is absorbed. Bond breaking endothermic. Bond breaking endothermic. Bond making exothermic. Making bonds, heat is evolved. Breaking bonds, to break the bond you have to supply heat. To break the ionic bonds, when ammonium chloride dissolves in water, ionic bonds are broken down. Not only ammonium chloride, if you add sodium chloride into water, to break down the ionic bond in NaCl, heat is absorbed. Due to that temperature of water drop. So then what happened? That absorbed energy available in the products as NH4 plus and Cl minus. So here it is absorbed means products energy increase. What is the answer? Arrow should be pointed up. This one completely wrong, arrow is down. Endothermic, this is endothermic. First one you have to decide this is endo-exo. If it is endothermic, products up. This is also correct arrowhead. This arrowhead is wrong. Then you check the products at the right level. Products at the right level. This is ammonium chloride equals ammonium chloride solid and water. Ammonium chloride. This is ammonium chloride solid. Ammonium chloride equals plus water. Yeah. Question number 30. The most correct answer. I think it's not clear here. This is AQ, right? This is AQ. Third answer. First answer is AQ and water H2O. So water is not forming as a product. What is not forming as a product? Right? You get any volunteers? Can anyone guess the answer here before I tell? What is the most correct answer here? Answer is NH4Cl equals, answer is 3, right? Ammonium chloride, the problem is whether it's solid or aqueous. I think this one they have gone solid. Ammonium chloride, it should be solid here. This should be solid, plus you have to put water. Here water is missing here. So the answer will be third. Answer will be third. When you dissolve ammonium chloride in water, heat is evolved. It is absorbed. It is absorbed. This is endothermic process. So the answer is 3. Question number 30, answer is 3. Why first one is wrong? Because water is missing. Because we should have water here under the product, because ammonium chloride plus water, because it become NH4Cl aqueous. So if you want to get either reaction, ammonium chloride solid plus water form NH4Cl aqueous. NH4Cl aqueous AQ, right? NH4Cl aqueous AQ, right? So that's why the answer is 3. Because water and NH4Cl solid should come under reactants. Reactants are the products at the higher level, because products have more energy. The absorbed heat stored in the products as chemical energy, right? Question number 30, answer is 3. Question number 31. Electrochemical cells, this is electrochemistry. Grade 11, chapter 12. Uppermost metal considered as anode and lower metal considered as the cathode in activity series. That is correct. Question number 31. Metals at the above act as anode. Metals below act as cathode. Right. Metal below act as cathode. Oxidation occurs near the anode. That is correct. Anode is a negative terminal. That is correct. So the answer is all 3 are correct. A, B, C. How come? One of the best example, if you take zinc and copper. Who is above? Zinc. Here copper, you connect with a wire, and here you have H2SO4, sulfuric acid. So who is the most reactive one? Zinc. Who act as anode? Zinc. Who oxidize? Zinc. Who lose electron? Zinc. Who is negative? Zinc. Zinc is anode because zinc is more reactive. Anode is negative. In electrochemical cells, anode is negative. In electrolysis, anode is positive. Don't memorize anode positive, cathode negative. That is completely wrong. In electrolysis and electroplating, anode is positive. But in electrochemical cells, anode is negative. And this negative anode lose electrons, because anode rich in electrons. Why? Zinc oxidize, losing electrons. Those electrons deposited on the surface of the zinc rod. So then electrons travel from negative to positive. As zinc is anode, zinc is above copper, zinc is negatively charged, zinc lose electrons and it dissolves gradually. So the question number 31, answer is all 3 are correct. All 3 are correct. Question number 32. 32nd MCQ. Observation near the cathode. This is from grade 11 chemistry, grade 11 unit 12. When you use aqueous NaCl solution, look at the screen. This is a, you can get this under essay type question also sometime. What is the first step? Look at the battery, put minus and plus near the battery. Battery positive means what? That side is anode. That side electrode also positive. This side electrode is negative. Positive one is electrolysis anode. This is cathode. Right. Then next one, observation near the cathode. Now cathode of this setup, we'll assume, please write here, we use carbon electrode here. Carbon electrode we use here. Graphite, otherwise they have to give the electrode, otherwise we can't predict this. NaCl solution, Cl minus and OH minus get attracted to this side. Because it's plus, ne? Then Na plus and H plus come to this side. H plus and Na plus get attracted to the negative electrode. Negative electrode attract cations. Positive electrode attracts anion. Anode attracts anions. Cathode attracts cations. Na to Na, cation to cation. Anode attracts anions. Negative ions are called, positive ions are called cations. Cations are attracted to the cathode. Please label this, everyone. Cathode is negative, it attracts cations. Cations are positive. Now what happened? Who is going out from this, out of these two? Which one is higher concentration? Sodium chloride solution. Sodium chloride solution has more Cl. So therefore Cl minus becomes Cl2. Near the anode, Cl minus becomes Cl2 gas. Right? Cl2 gas. Near the cathode, H plus become H2 gas. Right? Plus 2 electrons. So here you need 2 electrons. So this is what happened. Near both the electrodes you get gases. Anode chlorine gas, cathode cathode H2. So what is left in the solution? What is left in the solution? NaOH. You get three valuable products. Anode, near anode, what is the gas coming out? Cl2. Cathode, what is the gas coming out? H2. What is left in the solution? Left in the solution, sodium ions and hydroxyl ions become sodium hydroxide, which is called caustic soda. If you pass electricity through sodium chloride solution, you can get this valuable product left behind. What is left behind in the solution? Sodium hydroxide, which is caustic soda, very valuable. I told soap industry, sodium hydroxide is used as a raw material. Sodium hydroxide is used as a raw material. So Na plus and OH minus combine to become NaOH. So these are the three products: chlorine gas, sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So first step, first you have to separate anode and cathode, plus and minus, then separate the ions and write the reaction. That's it. What is the first step? Look at the battery. What is the next step? Label anode and cathode. What is the third step? Separate the ions. Fourth one, write the reaction. That's it. First look at the battery. Battery positive anode side, battery negative cathode side, separate the ions and write the reactions. The most difficult task is predicting the reaction, because when there are two ions, both won't oxidize at once. Cl minus oxidize here. Why Na plus won't reduce here? Because hydrogen is below, sodium is above in the activity series. H plus can easily gain electron than Na plus. Na plus doesn't like to become Na. Na plus very unstable sodium. Sodium is always willing to have as Na plus. Very difficult to supply electrons to a sodium ion. H plus we can easily supply electron because it is at the bottom of the activity series. Right. Question number 32. What is the answer now? Everyone should be able to give the answer now. What is the answer? Chlorine gas at cathode. Cathode. Look at cathode. Cathode, what is the gas coming out? Cathode, what is the gas coming out? Hydrogen gas. How? H plus becoming H2. Cathode, H plus get attracted. Cation to cation. H plus is cation attracted to the cathode. Cathode is negative. Negative electrode attract positive ion. Negative electrode attracts positive ion. Therefore, positive ion is H plus. H plus become H2. So, hydrogen gas coming out near the cathode. What is the best answer? Chlorine, no. Cathode is corroded, no. Color solution, color of the solution. NaCl solution has no color. Nothing to talk about the color of the solution. NaCl has no color. NaCl solution has no definite color. Right? So, therefore, the answer is second. Air bubbles are released. What is this air bubble? Hydrogen gas. If you want to write here, hydrogen bubbles are coming out near the cathode. Electrolysis, look at the battery. Electroplating, look at the battery and start from the battery. Battery positive side, anode. Battery negative side, cathode. Cathode attract cations, anode attract anion. Write the reactions, that's it. Any other example, the same technique. First look at the battery, then look at the charge of the plus and minus of terminals of the battery, then depend accordingly you label the anode and cathode. Battery positive side anode, battery negative side electrode, cathode. Separate the ions in the solution and write the reactions. Most difficult task is predicting the reaction, but that I don't have time to explain all this today because it will become electrochemistry lesson now. We won't be able to complete the remaining MCQs. I'll move to the next question. Okay, I think I explained maximum possible. Sorry, but I am reading very fast because I am telling all this fast because there's a lot to tell, but the time is limited. There's a lot to tell, but time is limited. Therefore, if you want, you can get the recording through your school teacher. We are uploading this to the Jayawardenepura Zone YouTube channel. You can watch them leisurely. You can watch this again and slowly you can clarify all the MCQs again. Then only your chemistry knowledge will improve. Right. Question number 33. What happens near copper plate? Copper plate. What is this? Is there a battery? No. Is this electrolytic cell or electrochemical cell? This is electrochemical cell. This is electrochemical cell. How to decide whether it's electrochemical cell or electrolysis? If there's a battery, mostly it's electrolysis or electroplating. If there's no battery, definitely it's a electrochemical cell. That means current is coming out. Zinc is more reactive. Zinc lose electrons and zinc oxidize and become Zn2 plus and jump to the solution as Zn2 plus. Zinc rod gradually corrode. Why? Zinc is the most reactive metal. Electrochemical cells, you need the activity series. You need to know the activity series, otherwise you can't answer electrochemical cell questions. Who is most reactive out of copper and zinc? Zinc. Zinc is anode. Most reactive guy become anode. Please label. Most reactive metal become the anode in electrochemical cell. Who is anode? Zinc. Zinc is anode. I'll write here. Zinc is anode. Most reactive metal is zinc. Copper is below. Zinc is above in the activity series. Zinc anode. Anode oxidize. Anode decrease in size. Oxidation means losing of electron. 2 electron. Electrons lost by anode travels towards the external conductor. Near the copper, these electrons are gained by H plus. H plus becoming H2. So therefore, what happens near the positively charged cathode? H plus get attracted to the positive cathode, and now 2H plus become H2. This side, that side, Zn become Zn2 plus 2 electrons. So you can get the answer. Copper plate, will the copper plate dissolve? No, hydrogen bubbles are coming out near the copper plate. Near the copper plate, air bubbles are coming out. What is that air bubble? Hydrogen gas. Right? Electrochemical cells, nothing happened to the cathode. Cathode act as a medium to supply electrons to the ions in the solution. Zinc deposited? No, zinc dissolve. Zinc is the most reactive metal. When you are given the question like this, what is the first step? Look at the two metals. What is the first one? Zinc is more reactive. Number 2, zinc oxidize. Zinc act as anode. Zinc is negatively charged. What is most reactive metal is anode, and it oxidize, and it lose electrons and become negatively charged. After that, look at the other side. Other side, definitely it should be positive. If zinc is negative, copper has to be positive. Electrons travel from negative to positive. I mark the direction of the electrons here. Electrons travel from negative to positive. Negative zinc to positive copper. Anode to cathode. Current opposite direction. Current will travel from copper to zinc. Current in the opposite direction. What is the answer? So nothing can be observed. Completely wrong. What are the observation here? Zinc dissolve. Air bubbles or hydrogen bubbles near the copper plate. Zinc dissolve. Air bubbles near the copper plate. Millimeter, the deflection of the needle. Indicator of the millimeter, there will be a deflection. So what is the energy transformation here? Chemical energy, electrical energy. Chemical energy become electrical energy. What is the energy transformation? Chemical energy is due to chemical reaction, electricity is produced. Here no battery. From the reactions we get current out. Therefore any matter has some electricity in it. That is energy transformation, chemical energy to electrical energy. So in electrolysis we supply current and make the reaction. Electroplating we supply current and make the reaction. That is opposite of this electrolytic cells. Electrical energy to chemical energy. So what are the two cells? Electrochemical cells and electrolytic cells. From which cells we get current out? From electrochemical cells. Example, car battery, motorcycle battery, simple voltaic cell. We get current out. So no need to put a battery there to make the reactions. Right. Question number 34. What's the time now? It's almost 1:37. We have to stop now. Wait, don't worry. One more. We'll mark 34 also. 34, zinc plate of the above setup. Zinc is negative. Zinc is the most reactive. Zinc is negative. Zinc is anode. Because zinc is more reactive than copper. Zinc is more reactive than copper. Right? Therefore, zinc is the negative terminal and it acts as anode. What is the answer? Zinc will be negative terminal. It is the most reactive one. It loses electrons. Negative terminal and it acts as the anode. Negative terminal acts as anode. Answer is first. Right? Zinc acts as anode because most reactive metal acts as anode. Activity series, the one above. Right? Okay, then it's almost, I took extra 10 minutes also. I think tomorrow you will be having physics, right? Physics from I think from 8 to 10:30. You will be getting a separate link. Tomorrow morning from 8 to 10:30 physics seminar. Physics, I will send the paper and the link today evening. You can get from your school teacher, from the school principal or someone. If not, even if you have my WhatsApp number at the beginning, it says you can make a request. Tomorrow morning, join at 8 o'clock. I'll do my maximum physics because not to cover up the number of questions done, so to improve your knowledge. And I'll organize a separate seminar before your oral exam to complete the remaining questions in this paper. Don't worry. right? Don't worry, we'll organize a separate one to complete the remaining questions, right? Question number 35 notes we'll discuss in another day, right? Okay, then we'll stop for today. Have a good day and God bless you.